Welcome to the Intercut podcast channel, the weekly place to hear the latest on the movies, TV, and entertainment that people can't cut away from. I am your co-host, Zachary Shevich, and joining me, 2025 is just a number. It's Arturo Zurita.
I'm excited to talk all of the brand new movies because we got some big stuff this year. I feel like we got some big directors coming back. You got like every comic book movie that didn't come out in 2024. Zach is so excited to be back in line, packed theaters for all of those. We got like Trons, Jurassics, Knives Outs, Avatars. I counted a lot of remakes, which is what I'm really surprised about. Bet PTA and Bong, it levels it out. So
that's the thing, right?
Yeah.
Like, it felt like in a lot of ways, 2024 was a year off for some of our biggest filmmakers, some of our biggest franchises. We only got one Marvel movie, which is pretty unusual for Marvel, but it will return to something closer to normal, I guess, in 2025, because we got a lot of movies to talk through. Some that I may not, you mentioned that I may not even have on my list. You may need to bring those up again when we get to those categories, because we've got things for all over the place. We got filmmakers we love. We got movies with great casts. We got a bunch of sequels and remakes, blockbusters, horrors, comedies, and films out of Sundance that we're excited for as well. We'll talk about all of those in a little bit, but first, make sure you're subscribed to the Intercut podcast, either the video podcast on youtube.com/intercutpod or the audio podcast available on most podcatchers. Also, follow Intercut on social media, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, Blue Sky, Instagram, whatever it is. We are at IntercutPod. That's Intercut Pod, and that is short for podcast. You can also support the show for as little as $3 a month here on YouTube by clicking the join button on our page to become a member, or going to patreon.com/intercutpod and signing up to join the Intercuties, which gives you early access to episodes like this one, the ability to help us decide on future episodes of the show. I asked the Intercuties for their suggestions on what movies should go on this list, and you also get an invitation to our monthly Intercutie video chats where we can sit down and discuss the latest in entertainment. Also, be sure to leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, because if we get to 250 5-star reviews on Apple, Arturo promised to let one of you crash on our couch in our Park City Airbnb.
I don't know what you gave me when I made this promise, but Zach's the one who likes the king beds, so you may have more room with him.
It's true. I do indulge in my sleep. But anyway, let's talk about the 100-ish most anticipated movies of the new year. You know, some people might hit you with a top 10 or a top 20, but you know we like to go a bit over the top on Intercut. There are a lot of movies out there, and we're going to watch them all. And some of these movies are things that I had on last year's list and last year's video, because as we know, like, there's not necessarily a guarantee on a lot of these things. You know, there's many of these films don't have release dates yet, and some of them may not have even been shot yet. A bunch of them could end up getting pushed into next year, but we're hopeful that we'll see at least a good portion of them. I'm pretty confident, though, that we will get to see finally the latest from Bong Joon-ho, Mickey 17, which was supposed to come out last year, got pushed to January, got pushed again to April, I believe it is, coming out finally on April 18th.
Which is better. That's better.
Yeah, it's a better release date. I, for one, am happy that we're going to have the chance to catch it, not while we're in the middle of a film festival in Utah, but I mean, look, Bong Joon-ho, this is the first movie he's made since winning the Best Picture for Parasite, so it's going to be interesting. He seems to have gotten free reign. He's got a great cast with Robert Pattinson, Naomi Ackie, Steven Yeun, Toni Collette, Mark Ruffalo. I'm really excited to catch Mickey 17.
Same. I think it should be a blast. It would be interesting to see how he comes out from the Parasite win. I think that's what a lot of people are expecting, like another big drama, and this looks like it's goofy.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there is humor in Parasite, but it definitely feels like this is going to be a much looser tone, at least, for this one. We also briefly mentioned last year The Way of the Wind, which is an upcoming Jesus Christ story directed by Terrence Malick. And if there's anybody who can kind of try to evoke the poetry behind that story, I feel like Terrence Malick is the filmmaker to put it in the hands of.
I'm curious for that because there's also some sequels that are coming out as I'm looking at that poster that I have not expected to come out. I think Terrence may be making the better version, but we'll be bringing up this other sequel in a little bit.
We didn't get the Trashers, despite it appearing on last year's list, and despite a whole other Cooper Raiff project getting announced for this year's Sundance, which is a limited series, or maybe it's an ongoing series. I don't know. I'm not sure what's going on with this movie that was supposed to star both him and David Harbour and Cooper, or I believe David Harbour and Cooper Hoffman. Yeah, but I'm hoping it's still coming out. He's got like so many projects in the works right now.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. There's the new Jim Jarmusch movie, Father, Mother, Sister, Brother. There's another film from Andrew Stanton, who last made My Beloved John Carter of Mars, but also is the man behind many of the iconic Pixar movies, including Wall-E. I'm also personally really excited for Mother Mary, which is going to be the new film from David Lowery about a famous musician and their relationship with an iconic fashion designer, with those characters being played by Anne Hathaway and Michaela Cole. Hunter Schafer and FKA Twigs are in this film, as well as Kaya Gerber, another Intercut favorite. And then the long-awaited return of James L. Brooks to cinemas with another romantic comedy, the genre he's best known for, in Ella McKay, which stars Emma McKay, or Mackey, I should say, Jamie Lee Curtis, Woody Harrelson, Io Debris, Albert Brooks, Kumail Nanjiani, and Rebecca Hall. Stacked cast in that one as well.
Wow.
Any of those movies stand out to you?
I mean, that last one, I didn't know Ayo was there. Like, Ayo's there, as in, like, the one that's going to be remembered. Like, bro, if she's already in a terms of endearment, that's insane. That's crazy.
Yeah. Her range.
Yeah. No, that's pretty good. You had mentioned another one that I thought was kind of interesting because it was comedians in it. In the blink of an eye. Andrew Stanton, like you've said, has made bigger, like, blockbusters, but I feel like he has comedy, but he's never done a comedy. So I'm curious if Rashida Jones and Kate McKinnon are running that one, how it plays off of itself. And then the Jim Jarmusch one, Kate Blanchett's on there. So I feel like that with Vicky Krieps and Adam Driver, that's going to be good.
Yeah. I accidentally clicked out of my screen here. Let me just bring that right back. Boom. Yeah, Father, Mother, Sister, Brother. Another one with an excellent cast.
Great.
Adam Driver, Tom Waits in that one as well.
Yeah, good. Great title as well.
Yeah. So those are some of the movies that we had in last year's video. There's also been a bunch of 2025 movies that we have seen already. There's the long delayed, but apparently finally being released film Magazine Dreams that you and I first saw way back in, what was it, 2022 Sundance? 23? 23 Sundance, I think.
Was a while ago, I think. Yeah, it was
right
before Ant-Man and the Wasp and Creed.
Yeah, a pre-scandal Jonathan Majors, while he was still like one of the most exciting ascendant actors in the business. And, you know, it is a really remarkable performance, but one that will feel very uncanny given how he's been in the news recently. That said, like, this is a movie that I think we both found a lot of really interesting things about when we caught it. Yeah,
I don't know what the company is that picked it up, so I'm curious to see if they're going to chop it up in any way, because there's, you know, controversy on the outside of it, and it's like, oh, do people want to engage with it? This is a movie where if this man was Tom Hanks, people would be arguing about the decisions and stuff that are made in there. It's a very tense film. So for it to already have a lot of other baggage coming with it, I am very curious to see how people are going to take it. Because as we know, you and I cover so many films. We also get the ability to look back on past years and go, oh, wow, we saw, you know, a lot of viewers kind of bringing stuff to a certain movie, and it takes a little time sometimes. Magazine Dreams is definitely going to be that. How many people are going to go in it and not extrapolate the character's psyche and what happens there? But yeah, we'll see how that plays off. But it's going to be an interesting release.
Yeah, I mean, we should have said this is also a film that's about a bodybuilder, but it has this sort of tone that is reminiscent of like maybe Taxi Driver in certain scenarios. Too.
Honestly,
So it's
right?
very, very interesting film. Speaking of Sundance releases finally making it to the big screen, the latest Steven Soderbergh movie, Presence, is going to be out in just a couple weeks, beginning of January. I think January 24th. Yeah, really interesting and a really uniquely shot one as well. I think we both really responded to his sort of experiment there. Another film that we caught on the festival circuit that is going to be out early in January on the 17th is the documentary Grand Theft Hamlet, which is about a couple of unemployed actors who, during the pandemic, staged a production of Hamlet within Grand Theft Auto Online. It is bizarre. It's very gamer fluent, but it is hilarious and heartfelt.
Yeah, it's very good. I like this idea that we're entering into this world where even in narratives, you have Mufasa that is all shot within a thing, right? And people are wondering, Barry, did you even pick up a camera? And you have all of these other movies that are starting to be actors in motion capture. So for a documentary like this, as we've gotten We Live in Virtual Reality, and we've seen the Ebeling doc that's gotten shortlisted at the Oscars, this to me is the perfect example of taking something so zany and making like a just slice of life movie in the world of Grand Theft Auto, because really that's all it is. You don't need VR, all these different things. A video game is already that. I love all of these different names that we're giving, being in the, what is it called? The volume or whatever. You're just recreating video games, but no one wants to say it. I get to live in this world and move around. That's what a video game is. This guy takes it to the next level, and watch the trailer to it. The trailer's so funny because every time he tries to pitch it to a person on Grand Theft Auto, they shoot him. It's this idea of, will he be able to get enough words out to just randomly gather people in the game? That alone was enough to hook me. And it's really funny, and it's beautiful.
Absolutely. Another film that was on the festival circuit, one of my favorite films from the New York Film Festival, was On Becoming a Guinea Fowl. This is a movie that is about a Zambian family's grief over a recent relative's death and sort of the ripple effects of that on the younger generations of the family. And that all sounds like heavy subject matter, but I think it's made pretty engaging and at times deadpanly hilarious in how it's presented in Rungano Nyoni's film. This is a movie that A24 is releasing into a limited release on March 7th this year.
Wow. Yeah, I was expecting this one to come out around December, one of those limited releases. They've been really it's been in a lot of festivals, but it doesn't ever seem to get that much traction. Always difficult to get a press screening to it, but I was able to get a showing at the Chicago International Fest, and some people did leave wanting a little bit more closure, and I felt like that's exactly what the movie's intention is. It's this idea of what you carry with you and this generational trauma that they have, not realizing how much of it is shared and how much of it is just survival. It's an interesting perspective, especially the way they take it, how they play off the title, and also the way that it's shot, the way you're moving with this character between flashbacks or reminiscing on her past through people she's finding out also went through it in the present. It's a good pick, and I'm very curious to see how they roll it out. Would it then be considered next year's film fully? Like not even a 24th
Yeah,
version?
because I don't think it had like an awards qualifying run, so I guess technically it could be like in the 2025 awards season.
Yeah, you said the date was what?
March 7th.
I'm sorry, bro. Like, if the Oscars have passed and you're coming out, that's way too late. It's way too late.
Exactly.
All right, that's a good pick.
Yeah. One that you and I both caught at film festivals is Ethos from director Carson Lund. This baseball hangout movie. I think you described it as like the Sandlot for adults.
Grown up, the Sandlot, but the park is going away, honestly. It's the final game before winter. And besides it being the last game that they could play for the season, it's going to go away because they're going to build a school there. And it's this idea of changing not just through the motions of these people, because you don't just have older guys. It's older and younger guys, people who are just connected because of the sport. You can watch this and associate it with movies. How you can have movie fans who are way older than you, way younger, but you all are attracted for this one passion that you have, something that you can't explain. You're in the 7th inning. We're on 7 movies during Sundance, and we're looking at each other like, why are we doing this? Because we love it and we go the full 9. There's just so much beauty in this movie. The way that it's shot, you had mentioned some really good breakdowns on that like twilight aspect of as the sun's going away, and it's really like you can barely see something in the horizon. When it comes to baseball, you are gonna want to see any ball that's coming your way, and I really like that. I thought this had a lot of heart.
Yeah, and it's a movie that really understands how, like, for different people, like, sometimes the last time you play baseball is 10 years old. Sometimes it's 18. Sometimes it's 25 or 30 or 45 or older than that. And for different people, it's for different reasons. But like it is this significant part of your life, like not just baseball, but like having that kind of activity, that hobby, that passion, and to see the end of it, or the transition of it to something new, I think is something that everybody can relate to. And the film sort of addresses that in a pretty profound and hilarious way. Beautifully shot. Yeah. Really like that one. I'm anticipating one that I know you got to see from a director I like, Joel Petrikis, but Vulcanizadora, man, you've been just describing this one as disgusting to me.
And I can't even remember if they showed anything. You ever watch a movie like Red Rooms and you're thinking back, what did they show? Was that images in my mind? This is just 2 dudes who go to the forest. Right away, you may be able to pick up what they're doing out there. They may not be coming back, and it just leaves you with so much anxiety. Some of you may not want to see that, but some of you may be wondering, what could it possibly be? Put it on your radar.
Another film that is out there but in a completely different way is one that I saw at TIFF last year. Absolutely hilarious, from director Andrew D. Young. It's called Friendship.
Completely the opposite.
Completely the opposite. This is a movie about Tim Robinson really trying to be Paul Rudd's friend and just being very Tim Robinson about it. And it's got just so many laughs in it. It's so clever. It's so surprising. One of my favorite trip sequences in any film. It's just a movie that I cannot wait to laugh out loud to again.
Sounds good. I'm very excited. No date?
No date for it yet, although A24 did pick that one up and they said, quote, coming soon. So I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised to see it in the first half of next year, hopefully.
Plus, Tim, he's got a lot. Got that show for HBO too, right?
Yeah, he's got the Chair Company coming up.
That'll be good.
Yeah. A couple more movies that I saw at TIFF, including the People's Choice Award winner, The Life of Chuck. It was directed by Mike Flanagan. You got Tom Hiddleston, Mark Hamill, Chiwetel Ejiofor, Karen Gillan, Jacob Tremblay. A bunch of interesting actors in this one as well.
Decent.
And, the People's Choice Award is a pretty notable award. Usually those films get nominated for Oscars. I don't know if this one is going to be, but Neon did pick it up.
It will be a weird thing that it still fulfills it, just not in the way that it gets the nom the year it released.
Exactly.
This being in the summer is surprising.
Yeah, I mean...
Like, it cuts the momentum.
Exactly. Like, I don't know. It's just... I don't know if it's that kind of movie, but I don't know. It's something that really won people over in Toronto, so maybe it almost has like a Coda-esque run where people just can't deny how the movie makes them feel. I'm
curious. You guys have described it in interesting ways, so.
Yeah. And then Relay, which is just a really tense corporate thriller where Riz Ahmed stars as a fixer who talks to his client through talk-to-text devices. It's a really neat trick that just makes the movie really suspenseful and entertaining. It comes from director David Mackenzie, who is no stranger to suspenseful thrillers. He made Hell or High Water, Starred Up, a couple other films that I think people like as well, like Under the Banner of Heaven.
Good stuff. He's a good director.
Yeah. But this one even might be my favorite from him so far, especially Riz Ahmed is so good. Riz Ahmed is just so good in this film.
Ooh,
it gave me some flashes of like Michael Clayton or Margin Call, just that like
Really?
the tense phone call stuff.
Okay. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
So those are movies that we've already seen and can approve of, but let's talk about some of the films that we have not seen yet. I did want to pick a couple that I felt like I needed to hear your responses to them, particularly. One we talked about pretty recently in a weekend must-watch, Karate Kid Legends. This combines a lot of the different lore and different characters across films and remakes and TV shows. Are you excited for it or kind of dreading it?
They just dropped the trailer for it, and you know, it's not that bad. It looks pretty decent. I've come to the realization that I was an idiot who didn't realize Jackie Chan was not playing Mr. Miyagi. I thought it was a reboot for the remake that the one Jaden's in.
Jaden Smith
Turns
was
out,
in.
no,
Yeah.
he's playing a completely different guy. I don't know why I thought that was such a long time ago. I thought it was just a remake, so I was like, how is he going to come in here if the story is Mr. Miyagi's gone? We've gotten those series on Netflix. Hey, it looks better. At least it's showcasing that money that they're bringing in on Netflix, they're going to save it for the movies. The new kid that they're bringing in, he's got some cool moves. It doesn't look bad. I'm very excited to see how they're going to bring it in. They have kept the IP afloat, and there's still so much, bro. It's like a Sonic movie where they're coming up with different Sonics. I didn't know how many Karate Kids there were. Like, there is so many dojos to pull from. And then what's crazy is the more you create these characters that are new, they are now the new ones for the future. So who would have thought? Karate Kid. Legends, another movie, keeping it going. It's what you have to do.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be good.
How do you feel about the proposed Lilo and Stitch quote unquote live action remake where he's still CGI, but it's in live action?
See, we all have favorite movies. We all have films that really defined us. Lilo and Stitch was like one of my first big cinematic experiences.
I know.
I remember that clear as day. I remember the toys that were given out at McDonald's. We haven't seen anything.
Yeah, I mean, they're
This is
doing
the
those
cheapest
like
way.
ads. Those ads that are meant to evoke the original ad campaign, but they're like just the smallest of small little teasers, right? All you really see is the design of Stitch, which is basically the design we remember, but has the weird like CGI fuzziness to it. Does it
so they're
encourage you
saying-
at all that this is directed by Dean Fleischer Camp, the guy who did Marcel the Shell?
Yes, that is the biggest, absolute highest praise you can give a movie. That's what's willing to make me turn it around. And I'm glad that they got him for a project like this. Do I care for these adaptations where it's like, and here's the live, is it still a cartoon? You're looking at footage, you're like, this is still just animated. No.
Yeah,
but,
and less stylish.
yeah, they've already been pretty cute with it. You know, they have that Lion King pre-trailer where it's the teaser is pretending like to pick up Simba, ends up being Stitch. Right there, he's
Right.
eating one of the things from Moana. They've been funny with it. So I'm curious to see how far they can go. Best director you can get with it.
Let's talk about your guy, Gareth Evans, the man behind the Raid franchise. He's got a new action thriller coming, and it stars one of our boys, Tom Hardy.
Oh, hell yeah. This looks great.
That's enough to sell you on that
That's
by
it.
itself, right? Yeah.
Uh-huh. That's all I need.
Can I also
Please
interest
watch this
you
stuff.
in? Can I also interest you in some Forrest Whitaker and Timothy Olyphant?
They're in this too?
Yeah,
Decent. I'll take it.
yeah,
Oh, I see Luis Guzman in there. Okay.
yeah. My guy.
Sounds good.
Yeah, very excited for it. All right, I got a pair of horror remakes, sequels, whatever. I think these franchises. I know one of them means a lot to you, but do you care about I Know What You Did Last Summer?
Nah. Not really.
Okay, so I was mistaken on that one, but I know that you're a Final Destination guy.
I am a Final Destination guy to the point that in my mind, this is going to be crappy, but I'm going to be there because I'm a Final Destination guy. I thought the way they wrapped the last one is beautiful. People can't help but to spoil it for you, but you need to watch all 5 actually leading up to that one because it is one of the most insane wrap-ups to a horror franchise. Look, I feel the same way like for the I Know What You Did Last Summer. It's kind of a what's it called? Just to keep the rights type thing.
Yeah.
Because, like, I Know What You Did Last Summer did the TV series, and it wasn't good. So they're like, oh, shoot, we spent it on the wrong one. It needs to be a movie to keep the right. My bad. Like you told me, Lord of the Rings, the show, that's cool. But you need a cartoon ASAP out in theaters. That's what I feel these are. Are these the biggest horrors that you have?
No, we got a whole other horror section coming.
Okay, I was gonna make sure because there's a couple of other ones that like they keep them coming.
I just know that I know that you're a Final Destination guy particularly.
Gotcha. Okay.
And I wouldn't have it on there if it weren't for you.
I'm gonna be honest. This is probably the 2-star movie I'm anticipating the most.
Yeah, I hear that. I hear that a bunch. All right, let's talk briefly about like 5 Sundance movies that I think right now are the ones I'm most hyped about. Okay. Let's start it off with Jimpa, which is a film that we talked about a bit during our Sundance preview, which you can check out on our channel. I mean, the price for admission hopefully will be worth it because you get a pair of fabulous actors here in Olivia Colman and John Lithgow. Mm-hmm. I think for my money, 2 of the most like affable presences on screen, and this seems like it's going to be a pretty emotional story where Olivia Colman takes their non-binary teenager to visit her gay grandfather, and I don't know. I'm just very hopeful that this is going to be the kind of Sundance movie that pulls at my heartstrings. We were big fans of the filmmaker's last movie, Good Luck to You, Leo Grande.
And that's what's interesting. It'd be their grandpa because the kid is the kid of the director. Found that out last night.
Oh, interesting.
Right?
Yeah, the real life reflecting in art. That's
Look, Sundance has had a streak of these, of maybe your Uncle Frank, I want to say. There's another one that's escaping my mind, of the grandkids going to visit the grandpa and then seeing a new perspective on life. This has a powerhouse. I'm excited for this one. It's one of the premieres that's on the top of my list, too.
Yeah. Another one that I'm really anticipating is The Wedding Banquet. It comes from director Andrew Ahn, who did Fire Island and a film I really love, Driveways. But the cast here is also quite exciting, with Bowen Yang and Lily Gladstone, Kelly Marie Tran, Joan Chen. And this is a film that one of the few Sundance films that we know already has a theatrical release date lined up for April 18th.
That's crazy. I really do feel like it's one of those big ones where The Big Sick, late night, Sundance premieres that were really hot tickets and then became actual box office darlings. I see The Wedding Banquet as being that. I think it's going to fire on all cylinders.
It's a remake of the 1993 Ang Lee film of the same name as well, which I think is an exciting aspect to it too. I think Bubble and Squeak could be pretty interesting. Evan Tui's directing it. The cast here is what has me very excited because it's Himesh Patel and Sarah Goldberg, as well as Matt Berry and Stephen Yun, even Dave Franco, like people who I really, really enjoy on screen. And it's got a pretty interesting, silly premise in people are accused of smuggling cabbages into a country that's banned them.
Very goofy.
I didn't actually realize this until my non-platonic roommate Caitlin, who is of English descent, mentioned it. Do you know that Bubble and Squeak is a food, like it's a dish from England? It's like potatoes and cabbages, so that's why the cabbages being banned.
Bro, I ain't never entered a restaurant and said, "Please, sir, give me your finest bubbles and squeaks."
Light on the bubble, but plenty of squeak, please,
more
sir.
Gluten free, please.
Right, maybe the best title for a Sundance movie is If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. This is a film from Mary Bronstein, starring Rose Byrne, ASAP Rocky, and Conan O'Brien. I'm sold.
Come on, bro. She says she's got a missing husband, a kid who won't pay, or there's like a missing person, a therapist gone wrong, all of these crazy things that are happening in this story. I'm completely in. I think this is already picked up by A24, pitched as a comedy drama. I think Rose Byrne's really going to kill this one.
And then another A24 film that's premiering at Sundance is Opus from Mark Anthony Green. This one is about a young writer who is invited to interview a legendary, mysterious pop star. The young writer is played by Ayo Edebiri, one of our favorites, and the rest of the cast is rounded out by John Malkovich, Juliette Lewis, Murray Bartlett, Amber Midthunder, Young Mazzino, and others. Very excited for this one too. Maybe the movie at Sundance that I'm most anticipating, and it too has a theatrical release date lined up for March 14th. Don't even have to wait that long if you can't make it out to Sundance. Yeah.
Wow. So right when we're in South by. If you don't mind, let me squeak in Bubble and Squeak, a couple of other little picks over here from Sundance. Please. Also really looking forward to Ricky. That is a short that's being adapted into a feature. Dude's been in jail for 30 years, comes out. He don't even know social media. He don't even know what smartphones are. I think he's going to kill it in this movie because the short was fantastic. And Stephen James, I feel like this might be one of the standout performances. And he's also being, his co-star is going to be Sheryl Lee Ralph, who's playing his parole officer. I think that one's going to be solid. The other one that I think is going to be a big cult hit is Magic Farm. This comes from a director who I really liked because her last film was El Planeta, which they starred in. Well, they decided to get one of the best actresses out there, Chloe Sevigny, to come in, where a group goes to go document her, and they end up in the wrong country, and that country's going through like a pandemic. There is some wacky titles that are coming out of Sundance, and it continues with this one. Our girl has left a banana stand to go to a fake military operation where she's playing an actress, where they run these drills. But then the real emotions are her falling in love with a co-star. This short is also out online for you to see. I think that's going to be really interesting.
Atropia. Yeah.
Fascinating.
Very excited for that one with Alia Shawkat. Yeah.
And the last two here from the premieres, Lurker, bro. This is going to be crazy. It is a guy scoping out a star before they make it. Now, we always have those Ingrid Goes West moments, but the idea that we live in a world that before a manager signs you, an obsessive fan can get to you, and then it becomes, as it says, a matter of life and death. Ooh, this one. I am excited to be seated for. The guy's worked with Brockhampton. He's worked on Beef. He's worked on The Bear. It's going to be really good. Someone did correct us. We were wrong about the Daniels of Glory guy. Turns out he is not Chicken Nugget Kid. But,
right.
But he may eat chicken nuggets here. We don't know yet, so I am not putting it out.
He's not the chicken nugget guy, but isn't he the Funny Pages kid? So that's cool too.
That's cool too. That's fine.
Yeah.
And then my final pick over here, simply put, a woman swaps bodies with a chair, and everyone likes the chair better in a film called By Design.
One of the best log lines I've ever read.
So, some really great Sundance picks.
Absolutely. Let's talk about a few films that I have in this category I'm calling comedies and curiosities, films that I'm just intrigued by or films that I'm prepared to laugh at. The first one is another Pharrell Williams movie. We just got the Piece by Piece documentary, but in 2025, he'll be teaming up with director Michel Gondry, who made one of my favorite movies ever in Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Really?
For a coming-of-age musical comedy drama that Pharrell is loosely basing on his own life growing up in Virginia Beach. The cast...
He's been doing the same thing, hasn't he?
Right? Well, it's going to narrative in this one, I guess, and the cast for this one is kind of nuts. Tell me when it gets less exciting, because we start with Kelvin Harrison Jr. We go to Halle Bailey. We get Oscar winner Divine Joy Randolph. We get our boy Brian Tyree Henry. We get our girl Quinta Brunson, Janelle Monáe, Jabuki Young White, Tim Meadows, Anderson Paak, Missy Elliott, and Andre 3000 are all in this movie.
3 stacks on the 4th line?
Right? How do you do that man like that?
There's a doc right now called Michel Gondry Do It Yourself. I think it's getting like a digital release. So it sounds like we are about to get a re-renaissance of the man. I'm excited.
Hell yeah.
Sounds good. I didn't even know he had a movie on the horizon.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see it. He's a director whose background is in music videos and stuff, right? So
yeah. Also,
it's going to be exciting.
I feel like for Michel Gondry, especially looking back at it, because I have my man pulled up right here, a big part of it is that anyone who stars in these movies, just like you were saying earlier for the Ayo's going to be in what?
Opus?
No, but you had mentioned the other one.
Oh, shoot. Ella McKay? That one, right?
Yeah, right. From the director of As Good as It Gets. Like, those are movies that you remember those actors forever for being in there. She just scored herself a spot.
Right.
Yeah. This sounds like the type of guy who, if you're in the movie, let's see. Oh, yeah. Those are like performances you remember for those actors forever. So to have Kelvin, who you and I have been cheering for the longest time, I love my boy, bro. I fought for Loose, which was a good movie. People want to come at me. Oh, you have a movie in top 10 everybody else doesn't like. Well, I'm sorry, you follow other people, bro. Like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. This is my boy. He has been a blast to listen to in the Mufasa press run.
Interviews?
Yeah, I thought he was Mufasa. Turns out, no, they got the American to be the
Rebel
Brit,
Ridge.
and the Brit to be the American. Kelvin has been my guy. And if this is the one that puts him on the radar for a lot of people, and then they go back to watch Waves and all the other good stuff, so be it. That's good.
Definitely. And keep Waves in mind for future because we will return to that. But the next movie I got up on this list is called The Actor. It's directed by Duke Johnson, maybe not a name you're familiar with. He's the guy who co-directed Anomalisa with Charlie Kaufman. So a guy who's used to sort of like existential, sort of mysterious films.
Oh, Moral Oral is his?
Yeah, that's that dude.
Okay. All right, tell me.
All right, so the premise of this film is an actor in New York is beaten and left for dead in 1950s Ohio, stripped of his memory and stranded in a small town, struggling to get back home and piece together the identity he's lost. That actor's played by Andre Holland.
You already know him. You already know
Sold.
Andre Allen.
Sold.
You know what? No, you know what? You're right. You're right. You're right. Andre Holland will also be in an upcoming Sundance pick. Where is it? It should be out here.
Maybe sort by release date. That might make it easier.
Maybe, right? Imagine they didn't even put it on here. It should be like
Love Brooklyn is the one you're thinking about? Yeah, we skipped over that one.
Right here. Love Brooklyn, baby. Please. Got to add an extra pick right there for doing the shout out to Andre Holland. Andre Holland is underrated. He's in way too many good movies. One of my favorites of last year, Exhibiting Forgiveness. And now you're telling me he's going to be in a mystery, what did it say? Drama, thriller, mystery.
Hell yeah.
I'm down, bro. And that's a really good cast, too.
Mm-hmm. I'm very excited for that one.
Wow.
Another one
have a good year.
Yeah. Another one that I'm super excited by is this film called The Rivals of Mziah King. Interesting title there.
Okay.
The reason that I'm particularly intrigued by this is it's the second film from the Vast of Night filmmaker Andrew Patterson.
That's why it's okay.
Yeah. The Vast of Night for me was just such an exciting breath of fresh air. I know I ended up liking that movie more than you did, but like his vision is just so interesting. And here he's paired with Matthew McConaughey, who has kind of been absent from our movie screens for a few years. So, you know, if this guy who's only on his second movie can lure one of our biggest movie stars out of his, like, I don't know, semi-retirement, I got to see what he's got in store.
Out of the Uber commercials? Yes, please. Let's do it.
You also got Kurt Russell and Rob Morgan, some other interesting actors in the cast as well.
All right. Sounds good.
Have you heard anything about Growth?
Not a thing.
It's the new film from Armando Iannucci, who is the guy who created In the Loop, The Thick of It, the political comedies Veep as well.
Okay.
More recently, he did that show I'm forgetting the name of. Is it like Avenue 5 or something? The thing about
on HBO.
Yeah, the like future cruise ship space travel class comedy. Yeah, with Hugh Laurie, exactly.
Okay.
Like a really hilarious writer. I particularly love The Death of Stalin.
I was about to say
that he made a few years ago.
That was a tip, so I know exactly his type of humor. What is this one about?
This is about a tech founder who creates a Snapchat-like company and has to deal with the exponential growth amid leaking of users' private data. And if you know anything about how he's dealt with like political comedies where
he don't care.
These particularly like these people who are in the spotlight navigating these intensely stressful situations as chaos envelops around them, he can handle that tone better than most people in a way that's unsparing, cutting, and hilarious.
All right, big thumbs up. I have not seen his stuff in a crowd. This will be interesting to watch in a crowd.
Definitely. Let's talk a little bit about Splitsville. This is a movie from director Michael Angelo Covino, who made a film that I think we both really liked, In the Climb.
Yes, we did, sir. This is an underrated gem right here.
Yeah, and it's been a little bit. That movie came out 2019. I think I think his co-director ended up going on to make 80 for Brady.
Okay.
But Covino, I think, is hopefully sticking to a path that we're going to be excited for, because this is a film about man whose wife asks them for a divorce, who talks to a pair of friends of his and finds out that the secret to their happy marriage is they're in an open relationship. He's got interesting people alongside him for this film too. Michelangelo Covino is one of the co-stars, but he has Dakota Johnson and Adria Arjona in this film, perhaps two of the most radiant screen stars we got.
Yeah.
Also, Nicholas Braun is in this film.
Good. Look, I'm not OT hater, but I think OT drains the screen every time he's on screen. So maybe Adria and Dakota, they can balance that out.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I like this last movie, so I'm curious with this one.
Yeah. This next one, I wouldn't say I think it's going to be particularly good, but I do think it is going to lead a lot of really interesting discussions. Michael, the in-depth biopic of Michael Jackson. And when I say I don't think it's going to be particularly good, it's because I think the family has a lot of involvement with this, which is always a tricky thing when it comes to these biopics. You know, we've seen how Queen's heavy involvement affected Bohemian Rhapsody and other stuff like that. We see that in a lot of documentaries. There's some reason to hope. I think Antoine Fuqua is an up and down director, but like when he's up, he is really up. The man behind Training Day and The Equalizer and other films as well. The cast for this one as well is pretty interesting because you've got Coleman Domingo and Nia Long and Miles Teller, but at the center of it all is Jafar Jackson, Michael's nephew.
Really? That's who's playing?
Yeah. Does that make you more excited for this movie or maybe a little less?
I mean, I don't know him as an actor. If he has been...
It's his debut.
Doing this outside of movies? Like, I don't know, your cousin's the impersonator? I mean, there's a lot of good impersonators out there. If you had a relative who was an impersonator, maybe?
Yeah.
But as of now, like you had mentioned, like the Bohemian Rhapsody, they were able to get a lot of iconography already right off the concept poster. You could see, okay, they know the shots that just simply can let you know, Michael, the shoes, you're not confusing it with Jordan. So as long as they're able to at least be this big hype piece, I think at worst it becomes like an awards contender that people really push because of the profile, even if it may not be the most introspective thing that we may want. I feel like it's really just going to push him as the icon. Not him as like the drama, right?
Right. Or if it does get into the like elements of his personal life that ended up becoming a lot of what we remember about him, it may like use like light gloves with it. It may not really pull. It may pull its punches is what I'm trying to say.
Really interesting though to get Miles Teller to play Joe Jackson. That's a really bold choice in my eyes.
It's certainly out of left field.
Is he Tito?
Does it have his character's name?
Yeah, it says he's John Branca.
Oh, okay. I'm not familiar enough to know.
Hey, tune in this fall to catch Michael in theaters.
They just moved it to I think it was in April. In the slot that now is going to be Mickey 17, they moved it to October something, which is more in the thick of awards.
That is
so maybe a good sign.
They were going to go April.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, this is going to be a huge movie. People
it has to be
love and have so much memory of Michael Jackson. I mean, if Bohemian Rhapsody made a bunch of money, this movie's going to maybe double that. Going from Michael Jackson, though, to an artist who is directly in his lineage, let's talk a little bit about Hurry Up Tomorrow. This is a film that's going to be potentially an extension of The Weeknd's upcoming album, and it's set to star him as well as Jenna Ortega, Barry Keoghan, I always forget, and Charlie D'Amelio.
Interesting.
And while, like, I think you could perhaps dismiss it as, like, you know, album tie-in promotional material, the fact that he got Trey Edward Schultz
he's no joke,
our beloved Waves, to direct this one.
Always
I
thinking
don't know. I'm going to pay attention.
I'm in all the way. I'm very curious to see the retread then, because I know a lot of people are bringing the Idol baggage, and whether there's more to blame on, you know, Sam for that one, or if it's The Weeknd. Him coming in here playing another acting performance, I think should be interesting because we keep forgetting that he was a really good actor in a movie before. He did a great job playing himself in Uncut Gems. Yeah. I want to see what he could do. I think I don't want to say introspective, but I think he's really good at making fun of himself and putting himself out there, being very I guess vulnerable. I've been listening to The Weeknd since the Trilogy mixtape, so I've been a long time fan, bro.
Yeah.
I am very excited to see this. Nothing could be more up my alley than a collaboration like this. Let's go. What's the date?
I don't know if it has a date, but I think the album is coming out like soon. I think even January, maybe. I could be wrong on that.
All right. I'm in.
So it probably will come relatively soon.
Yeah. Also, I've heard Barry say it's. Yeah, I've heard Keegan. I heard it's technically Keon.
Keon, right.
Keon.
Like,
and I remember
almost like
because I
Riley
have that.
Keough.
Yeah, I have that saved somewhere where he said he's like, I'm gonna be honest, it's Keon. No one's ever gonna say it. I really don't care. He's cool. He don't care. But I've heard multiple things. I call him that guy.
Let's talk about Outcome. This is the return of director Jonah Hill, who previously made mid-90s. And I think it's got an intriguing plot, given some of the things that have happened to Jonah Hill's personal life. It is about a damaged Hollywood star who must confront his demons and make amends after he is extorted with a mysterious video clip from his past. I believe the star this description is played by Keanu Reeves. Beyond that, you also have Matt Bomer. Shadow himself is going to lead the new Jonah Hill movie. Jonah Hill will be in this as well. It's not mid-90s. He's not going to stay behind the camera. David Spade, Roy Wood Jr., Kaya Gerber, Ivy Woke, and Laverne Cox are in this, as well as Matt Bomer. But I think, intriguingly, this is going to be one of a couple movies that Cameron Diaz is in this year after many years not on our screen.
Bro, you're showing me a movie with Cameron Diaz, and who did we just say too?
David Spade?
David Spade. I'm like, what era are we in, bro? I thought this was upcoming. You're right. She's got a couple on the horizon, dude. From Netflix to everything else. She's about to hit all the corners from streaming to theaters. Bro, welcome back.
Right. I missed her. I'm happy to see her back. Not so happy that I'm going to put Back in Action with her and Jamie Foxx from, is it Sean Levy or is it Seth Gordon? It's a director who I don't have a lot of faith in.
It's straight to streaming is what it is.
Exactly. Let's talk briefly about Paddington in Peru. People love the Paddington movies, although this is going to be the first one not directed by Paul King.
You went through 50 movies, the only one on my watch list so far, I think.
Well, I know you're excited.
I think it's still going to be cute.
Yeah.
But seems like it's not going to be up there with the other ones, but I think the big one for me was when what's her name said she wasn't coming back. And I think that was a big part of it. Where is she at? Sally Hawkins. I don't think she's coming back for this one.
Yeah.
I heard. So, sorry, but of course it's the bear. It's the jam. But she's the peanut butter, I guess, if you want to call it that. She kind of makes it for me, too.
Yeah.
So, I'm so excited for it.
Let's talk about You're Cordially Invited. It's directed by Nicholas Stoller, who I think is one of our better modern comedy and particularly romantic comedy directors. Made My Beloved Forgetting Sarah Marshall, made Bros, made Neighbors and Get Him to the Greek. He makes funny movies pretty reliably.
Yeah, I didn't realize he's been around. Okay.
This one is about when two weddings are accidentally booked on the same day for the same venue, each bridal party is challenged with preserving their family special moment, with one of the families, the matriarch being Reese Witherspoon, and the patriarch or the other family being Will Ferrell, I believe. Sure. A very funny pair of actors. Okay. You also have some other upcoming stars I love in this, like Geraldine Viswanathan, Meredith Hagner, Jimmy Tatro, our guy from American Vandal.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, this looks good. It feels like, you're saying the cast. Reese Witherspoon, Will Ferrell. Looks like we're getting a lot of throwbacks. Cameron Diaz coming back, everybody doing a 2000s run. But I like combining it with the up-and-coming stars that we've seen. Like you said, Geraldine, being able to get the Coen Brothers movie and also being in like a lot of really good films that we've been liking. She's been blowing up. This is going to be really good. Get her out there. Wait, did he didn't do... Okay, he did Bros. I'm about to say, if he did Blockers, then I can see he's already worked with her, but Bros.
Right. Yeah. Have you heard anything about Famous?
I don't believe so.
This is the movie in which Zac Efron is both going to play a movie star and a person who is stalking that movie star, I believe it is.
Okay.
This is an upcoming comedy directed by Jody Hill, who has spent a lot of the past few years writing and directing for one of my favorite shows, The Righteous Gemstones, but he's also the director of The Foot Fist Way with Danny McBride and the hilariously underrated Observe and Report with Seth Rogen.
Wow, interesting. A lot of Hills coming in to direct. That's a funny premise, especially because I just mentioned Lurker, so we're gonna get a lot of these creeper movies pitching themselves as comedies. Okay.
One of my favorite. Yeah, I'm definitely intrigued by that one. One of my favorite comedy directors is returning to the big screen. Boots is back. Boots Riley's got a new movie called I Love Boosters, and no, it's not about COVID shots, although knowing him, there'll probably be some joke in there about that. This is about shoplifters, and if you are familiar with Boots Riley's ability to be subversive and very funny in his class comedies like Sorry to Bother You and I'm a Virgo, I think there's a lot to expect here. The cast is great too. Keke Palmer, Naomi Ackie, Demi Moore, Lakeith Stanfield, Isa Gonzalez, Taylor Page, Will Poulter.
Wow. Good for Naomi Page. And Lakeith. Whew. Dude, and Poppy Lou's been popping, bro. She was in something recently too where it took me a minute to
she's in No Good Deed, isn't she?
Thank you. I was like, bro, I recognize you for something. It's like, yeah, you do the Cards and Hacks. All right. Dude, bro, it's been so long. Sorry to Bother You was from the last year before we all started doing Sundance together. We have done over half a decade of Sundance.
Yeah, basically every episode of Intercut episode has come out since this last movie.
That's crazy. And Sorry to Bother You was a smash hit for me. I remember watching this. I was like, let's go, bro.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm super on board.
Welcome back, Boots.
Yeah. The last one in my comedies and curiosities category is a movie that we know very little about. What's going on with this untitled Trey Parker, Matt Stone, Kendrick Lamar comedy?
Drake sent a second lawsuit. Second one hit the building, bro. I don't know what to tell you. This has been announced since I saw him in concert, and buddy, that was a long time ago. We have had multiple albums, disses, and Boogie Band EPs dropped since. I don't know what's dragging with this, bro.
At least he seems like he's actively making stuff right now, so maybe that's a good sign. But it's going to come out sooner or later, right?
I saw this man drop 2 songs.
Please don't tell me it's not going to...
In one day... there should be stills to this. Now, the premise, I don't know if you said it yet, but maybe they were waiting for a presidency to change.
that
they say
could
sometimes
be
you can have a good idea, but it's the timing. Say the premise, though, because it gets crazy.
It's about a black man who's interning as a slave reenactor at a living history museum who finds out that his white girlfriend's ancestors once owned his ancestors.
Unbelievable.
Unreal premise. I don't know. It looks like Chloe East is actually attached to this as well, maybe as that girlfriend.
Maybe. Blowing up, too.
Your girl from Heretic, yeah.
Gosh, dude. Also appears in No Good Deed.
Right.
She's a daughter.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Good for her. And Fableman's girl. I love the fact that she went from being super Christian to super Mormon.
She's got a type.
Neither for all those things. And now this, whatever this is going to be. Second movie already with another reenactor.
Mm-hmm.
And a relationship
a theme
going crazy.
for 2025.
What is happening? All right. Well, good. Hey, some good comedies and curiosities and all the above.
Definitely. Let's talk a little bit about some horror movies, though. There are definitely going to be some exciting ones next year. One that I'm pretty intrigued by, but I don't know a whole lot about. Maybe it's going to be more of a action adventure, or I'm not even sure. It's from Gore Verbinski, who last we saw gave us A Cure for Wellness, I believe it was, unless I'm misremembering.
No, I remember him making that. That's a while.
It's been a little while for the guy who made one of the biggest film franchises of the last couple decades in Pirates of the Caribbean. Right? My guy made Rango. But he has his roots in horror, and
This is the GOAT right here, bro. Nathan Lane and
Mouse Hunt household?
Oh, I'm a big Mouse Hunt guy. Okay, tell me more.
This new film is called Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die. And it's with excellent actors: Sam Rockwell, Haley Lou Richardson, Michael Pena, Zazie Beetz, Juno Temple, and others. It's about a man from the future who arrives at a diner in Los Angeles to recruit the right combination of patrons to join him on a quest to save the world from artificial intelligence.
I didn't hear anything you said. I stopped at Haley Lou Richardson. I'm in.
Nice to know. Another film coming up from a director who has made a lot of movies we really enjoy. Christopher Landon. Definitely enjoy his movies more than his posts on social media. But this next film has a pretty intriguing premise to it. It's called Drop, and it's about a widowed mother who's been going on her first date in years who keeps receiving upsetting drops to her phone. Maybe not directly a horror. It's described as a thriller mystery on Letterboxd, but it is a Blumhouse movie, and we know Christopher Landon has made movies like Happy Death Day and We Have a Ghost. Wow. Likes to work in horror.
Yeah, Megan Faye's been on a little bit of a run. She was really good in the. She was, I think, the victim in the Perfect Couple.
Yeah, she was great on White Lotus.
Yeah, no, this might be good. Christopher Landon makes entertaining movies. I had a blast with the Happy Death Days.
Same. Freaky as well is very funny.
No, he's a good director. All right, sounds good.
Are you interested in Heart Eyes, the new movie from director Josh Rubin?
What's he doing?
He's done Werewolves Within.
That one was decent. I remember Scare Me was when they're like retelling the stories that came out of Sundance, I want to say, or South by. Okay. This one is...
This one, I think it's already set for a release on Valentine's Day, so don't have to wait too long for it. And I think that, speaking of Christopher Landon, he is a writer and producer on this movie as well.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah. So it's about the Heart Eyes killer striking in Seattle on Valentine's Day.
Okay.
And I think Olivia Holt and Mason Gooding maybe play a couple running for their lives. You also have Jordana Brewster and legend Devin Sawa in this movie.
I mean, Gooding's had his run of horror films. I'm kind of interested considering he said he's the first to sign back up for Scream. You saw that?
Right. Yeah.
And that's interesting because, one, I mean, obviously everything that happened, I thought you were the core four. Mm-hmm. And then there's also the fact that you kind of are a package with your twin sister in the movie. She hasn't signed on yet. At least he's got something else coming out here. There's even a trailer.
This one's out in less than 2 months.
Oh, Valentine's Day, I'm assuming? February 7th?
Yeah.
I think we, as a society, should focus more on early of the year horror around Valentine's Day. I think Valentine's Day horror is perfect. You can go see a romantic movie. You can go see that. You know what's definitely going to get the arm over on a date? A horror movie, bro.
Yeah. You want her to hold her hand. Make sure you watch something scary.
My Bloody Valentine 3D was not good back in high school, but that got the job done, bro. People love horror movies. I think the best person to have described it is go listen to From Alien Romulus. My girl, Dora, she describes our horror movies are the best, and she breaks it down that it's all about that. It gives you an excuse to cuddle, to get in there. Hard Eyes. What better way?
Have you heard anything about him? Because it's produced by your guy, Jordan Peele.
No.
Yeah, this is...
Whoa. My boy Guadap?
You know.
No.
Yeah, man. I mean, look, this is an upcoming Monkey Paw production from relatively young director, not first-time director, I should say, Justin Tipping. But it's got a pretty interesting premise. It's about a blood-chilling journey into the inner sanctum of fame, power, and the pursuit of excellence at any cost. I don't know if we got like a magazine dreams, but for fame on our hands here.
Great find. I don't know what this is, but consider me intrigued. Tierra Whack?
Yeah. Jim Jeffries, Tim Heidecker, Julia Fox, and I believe the star is Marlon Wayans of this film.
Dude, the Wayans are about to make a comeback. Getting the Scary Movie back and everything. Mm-hmm. About to make a comeback. Wow.
I'm ready for it.
Man, dude, listen to Guadap's freestyles on his YouTube. Honestly, some of the most underrated puns, lines. He's the boy.
I'm going to cue it up.
Damn. All right, sounds good.
Yeah. I'm excited to check out The Gorge. It's the new film from director Scott Derrickson, who I've found to be pretty reliable in recent years for his different horror movies like Black Phone and Sinister. But this latest one is also really intriguing because of its cast, with Anya Taylor-Joy and Miles Teller at the center of it, playing two highly trained operatives appointed to posts across a vast and very secret gorge.
It sounds good. Change the poster, dear Lord.
I also am intrigued by Letterboxd listing this as a romance horror. I don't know if you see too many romance horrors.
Like Warm Bodies, and that's comedy, but yeah.
Right?
Hey, StatCast seems like it's got everything going its way. 127 hours. Yeah, that sounds like drama time right there. They just need to switch that poster.
Definitely.
Date?
I think you and I both were fans of Maggie Gyllenhaal's directorial debut, Lost Daughter, which was like a... Oh, does The Gorge have a date?
February, bro, already.
Damn, 13th. That's so soon. That probably has a trailer too.
Dude, it does. Right here.
Oh, damn.
Apple TV Plus?
News to me.
Check your account. No, but this is getting a really big release. I think this is going wide. Like, I think this is going on the internet.
Very cool. All right, so yeah, maybe the first straight to streaming option that we've talked about.
Nice. Okay, damn.
Yeah. Maggie Gyllenhaal made her directorial debut back in 2021 with a film that I think we both found pretty compelling and heartfelt in The Lost Daughter.
Yeah, that was good.
A really like intimate drama. But the last thing I was expecting was for her to follow that up with The Bride, a film about Frankenstein's bride. All the pictures that we've gotten for it so far look incredibly stylish. It stars your girl, Jessie Buckley, and my guy, Christian Bale, as well as Penelope Cruz, Annette Bening, John Magaro, and her husband, Peter Sarsgaard, as well as her brother, Jake Gyllenhaal.
Whoa!
Cast alone should get you through the door, but I don't know. Maggie, I think... that she would go in this direction when she probably doesn't have to. I don't know. Hopefully there's some kind of inspiration there. The style looks really intriguing.
Wow, we're really going to have to pick between two of these next year, huh?
Exactly, because Tio himself, Guillermo del Toro, has also got a Frankenstein movie coming about Dr. Victor Frankenstein with Jacob Elordi, Mia Goth, Oscar Isaac, Christoph Waltz, and others.
But The Bride, look, my girl Jessie Buckley, Christian Bale, John Magaro, Annette Bening. Dude, these two are stacked. Mm-hmm. That is going to be an interesting comparison at the end of the year. Because people won't help.
I wonder if they... Sorry. I wonder if they even would push Frankenstein into the following year, but it wouldn't be the first time where Guillermo del Toro makes a movie and they release a movie about the exact same character in the exact same year.
What else?
Pinocchio.
That's right. I was like, I don't remember Shape of Water by Sony. Damn. Yeah, and it may be dragging out too because didn't he say he was getting haunted? They're in a haunted house or something filming this. Right. Wow. Hey, look, consider me surprised. I was ready for Theo's movie, but The Bride by Maggie is actually really intriguing.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see what is going on there.
Dude, you picked a bunch of really good movies. I was going to give you the crappiest horror movies. So give me the one last good one.
Exactly. I got one more, and then you can drag us through the dirt. But we really enjoyed Longlegs from Osgood Perkins last year, and that dude already has another movie shot in the can. It's called The Monkey. I think there is a trailer for it out there already.
Some teasers and stuff.
Yeah, look, it's got a creepy monkey. That's all I need. I saw Nope.
Yep. And this is also Monkey Paw, no? Or is he going back with? Am I mistaken?
I don't think it's Monkey Paw. I think it's just The Monkey.
My bad. I'm just combining them already. Plus, because he worked. Yeah. It's Atomic Monster, so it's not
right.
It's just that he was in Nope as well. I like that it's a comedy horror this time around.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of like comedy that sneaks through in Longlegs, but the tone is not comedic. It feels like the tone is going to be a lot more comedic in this one, although it will also go for some scares. I'm pretty intrigued by it. Feels like maybe like a little bit of Megan vibes too, and just like the robotic aspects of this.
Yeah. Hey, Atomic Monster is about to really blow up because they started with a couple. And then they had everyone build up for like the last 2 years. So now we're about to get all these releases coming in. But Yeah, I got a slew of horrors. I'm gonna pitch them to you. I already know they're all gonna be nice, but just to remind people how much horror we have coming in. But before I do that, let's give a quick shout out to the patrons because I see LaShawn in the chat, and we gotta let people know that you can catch something like this early if you're a Patreon member over on the site or here on YouTube membership.
Absolutely, yeah. We couldn't do this without support from our awesome patron Intercutie member family, whether you're joining us on YouTube by hitting that join button below the video or heading over to patreon.com/intercutpod and joining up for as little as $3 a month. You get access to a bunch of cool stuff like this video early. I asked the patrons for their input on this video early during one of our monthly video calls. Oh, shout out to Trevor, who's also watching us live in the live stream. We got a Patreon gang member and a YouTube gang member, but we're all family. Beautiful. In the Intercuties. We do want to shout out the Academy tier. The Academy tier members are Tushar, Cademan, Connor, May, Ricky, Joe, Wiley, Matt, Jeremy, and Michael, I guess, as well as producer level patrons Toon, Brandon G, Josh, and Bleepy. A huge thanks to all of y'all, and a reminder, once again, you can join our family whenever you want.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Let's get back into the movies.
Now, I apologize, patrons, for the worst movies that are going to be coming out next year. You had given me Final Destination. You had given me I Know What You Did Last Summer. But, Zach, may I interest you? I know you ain't never played these games. A Return to Silent Hill?
Okay, you say I've never played these games, but half of this household, that's their favorite games ever. So I'm very familiar with Silent Hill. Not only that, you know Caitlin did documentaries in that Pennsylvanian town?
Wait, what?
What's the name of the town? Centralia, yeah.
Yeah, she said that quick. She got that triangle head costume for Halloween in the closet. Damn.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So I've watched her play the remake recently.
Not.
So I'm
absolutely
really ready. How excited or not excited are you for Return to Silent Hill?
Oof. I'm scared, but I'll watch it.
There we go.
Yeah.
I think that's a sign of approval.
Scared that it'll be good. Scared that it'll be trash.
Scared that it'll be good or scared that it'll be trash. Trash, yeah.
Trash, yeah. Look, I think the best thing that's happened to Silent Hill was that PT test game that What's in Faces put out.
Was it?
And I think I know it was Guillermo and it was Kojima. And now it's like completely gone. You can't even get it. But like that was just like a sample of what you could do in this world. Like the other ones, I don't really have too much faith in it. But hey, good to know that we got some Silent Hill fans in the house. That one will be coming out. I don't even know what they're working on with that. Next year is also Saw 11.
Another franchise beloved to Caitlin. Not to me, but again, that actually might be the Saw franchise, one of your all-time favorites. She's a Lee Winnell, James Wan fangirl.
How's she feeling on this? I can't remember what she thought about Saw X.
I mean, what was the last Saw movie that you like actually saw and enjoyed?
I'm actually behind.
Yeah, so. What's the last one you saw and enjoyed? 2, 3?
6 is good.
4-ish.
4-ish. 4 was
Yeah, so
X
she's a little behind.
Yeah, the 10 wasn't bad. Now we're coming up to 11. We're gonna see how they build it up. It's got lore to it. They're going to be bringing in like a Festival of Champions and stuff. From there, we also have the Fear Street movies are coming back with another flip called Fear Street Prom Queen. So if you were curious on those, I don't think they're going to be doing the 3-movie release, but that'll be interesting. We do not care about this one, but I have to bring it up because Zach had it as his like honorable mention for something. The Pooniverse Monsters Assemble will be assembling all of the Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey. I forgot
We're
what
Johnny's
the
favorite,
Mickey,
our guy.
The Mickey Mouse one that they also put out. These are horrendous movies. After the royalties or that the copyrights let up for a lot of these characters, they've been picking them up. They did Steamboat Willie, whatever. They're making it into a universe. Why not? That'll be out there for people to see.
I did see a clip going around on Twitter of like some of the animatronics they're making for the latest movie. Not gonna lie, it looked kind of dope.
Wouldn't it be the funniest thing in the world, right? That would be the luck. The cinema gods going, you know what? By accident. Y'all remember when Fast and Furious was completely different to what it is now? Good. Watch this. That would be revolutionary. Like people start writing think pieces about like how profound they were for taking the copyright as soon as it elapsed or whatever. Pioneers. We'll see. Hey, you never know what happens, right? With franchises, but we know that franchises never die when they start, especially when they're horror. The Conjuring last rites will not be the last rites. They will bring back Ed and Lorraine as ghosts if they have to. They will never stop these. They have another one coming up. You been a fan of these or no?
I liked the first couple. I feel like it lost me somewhere along the lines, but I don't know. I'll check this one out.
I thought the first two were pretty solid. I don't know who's directing this next one because you mentioned that the original director is going to be working on something else, but there is a Black Phone 2 being worked on for the future. Be curious to see how they expand on that. But my two picks...
I think we both kind of liked the first one.
The first one was decent. I thought it was pretty good. Yeah. Really good kid performances as well. But the last ones to bring up will actually be good movies. Right on the horizon. The guy who worked on Barbarian, I don't think he's directing, but he's coming out with this one, Companion. This looks to be messed up in the best way possible, dude. The trailer, if you watch it, is creepy as can be. It feels like who you think may have the upper hand may not have the upper hand, but I don't know what's going to happen here. It looks messed up in the best way possible. Going to release right before February, right when we're out and about at Sundance. So Companion looks very interesting, but I got to wrap it up with what might be the next big franchise that is barely starting. A24 picked it up. Did you ever get anything into the back rooms?
Oh, right.
Online
this is like
craze.
Is this the one that has the like 16-year-old that they said to direct it?
19 years old. A24 picked up this. Yeah, let me see if I can pull him up, dude. Kane Parsons, the boy, literally 19 years old, can't even drink after he films on a busy day. But they got him to make this.
Who weren't alive for 9/11 should be outlawed from making movies. That's my personal belief of mine.
Look, he's a YouTuber, so I'm gonna give him the backing right there. I hope he's able to deliver. They picked him up because they saw something in him with the online versions of what they were doing here. It reminds me of the way Slenderman took off in the internet and then started getting movies. But I'm a little bit more confident or hopeful, I would say, for this take. We know we're getting the Skibidi Toilet coming from Platinum Dunes that Michael Bay picked up. We may have more other, Five Nights at Freddy's is continuing. I hope this hits something because we've talked about A24 not having too many franchises, but they want to get into it. Horror is the best way.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the vibe for me feels a little more like Skinamarink-esque coming off this one.
Hey, it could be. It could be.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be the best thing for A24 to make a franchise of something that's never been a franchise? Like Skinamarink 5. Yeah. You would never think about that, but it's got a super creepy tone. That's my wrap up right there for the horrors that are coming out.
Definitely. All right, cool. We ran the gamut with horror. I'm a little surprised you didn't want to show a little love to The Strangers Chapter 2. No, you're really excited for a sequel to one of 2024's worst movies?
I think you bring it up, bro. I let me know next year what it is after it's out and streaming.
All right, this next category is a couple of the blockbusters that we are anticipating, and we might as well start with the movie that's still topping the box office right now in Wicked for Good, the sequel to Wicked, because they split the Broadway show into two parts. And there's a lot of intriguing stuff about what they might take this next one, what direction they might take this next one in, considering that they're probably going to lengthen it. There was no original songs in Wicked Part 1, but there are apparently a couple of original songs in Wicked Part 2. Looks like it's going to be... Looks like the first part is going to be like a strong Oscar contender. I wonder if this one can do a similar like Lord of the Rings kind of sequel run or something like that. A lot to find out. I mean, a lot of people really loved Wicked. I thought it was pretty good. I think you also thought it was pretty good.
It was better than expected, yeah. It's just that the story is really good. Title, how are you feeling on it? We found out during one of the Patron chats.
I mean... I think it's a little weird to title it Wicked for Good when we haven't seen Wicked 2 or 3 yet, but I guess it kind of makes sense. It's a different kind of subtitle.
I like it. It's letting you know, like, we're not going to do a 3. Everything else after that's going to be different. Wicked for Good. Feels like it reminds me of like the Batman Forevers type stuff.
Right.
And I know it plays off the song. I didn't think it was
exactly.
bad,
It's a song from the soundtrack, so it makes sense. Let's talk briefly about Captain America: Brave New World, because on the one hand, it's a movie that's been delayed several times, gone through multiple rounds of reshoots, and that could spell potentially trouble for what feels like a difficult production. On the other hand, this comes from a director in Julius Ona, whose movie Loose you shouted out earlier when we talked about our boy Kelvin. We like quite a bit. And that new trailer is not that bad.
The new trailer has no business, Zach, being as good as it is. I was there going, what am I watching? Where did y'all get this film grain from? What is happening here? It looks like what people loved about Civil War. Updated. I don't know. It looks not too bad. I'm kind of excited for it. And again, a big part of it comes from the faith I have in the director.
Absolutely. That's not the only Marvel movie we'll be getting next year. We also are going to get Thunderbolts. Asterix. I know that Asterix is important to you.
You got a taco? Cast? Well, hold on. Where's your taco? Oh, you got a Blockbuster taco, bro. I didn't even see your Blockbuster taco. My bad. There we go. Theories on the Asterix.
That I don't know why. I don't know how to have a theory about an Asterix on Thunderbolts. Do you have theories?
Yeah, they're supposed to be like they want you to have theories. Do you know what I mean? When they put it out
but
there,
I don't play Marvel's game like that.
When the time, I refuse. I reject your hypothesis. I don't know. I'm curious because it's got a really interesting team behind it. A lot of the writers I had mentioned are going to be at Sundance for some of the most interesting films. So I feel like, that early run of Blockbusters, getting those indie people to make those movies before they, or after making a really good indie, they're picking them up to make the Blockbuster, and then the indie will come out. I find that so fascinating. I'm like, how did you guys invert this? There's something about Thunderbolts that feels like it's going to sneak up and actually be good. I don't know why.
I know.
I'm worried because we've done the Suicide Squad bit too much. DC did it twice.
Right. To me, I think the thing that I'm excited about is a move away from the types of heroes who kind of like wave their arms and have magic energy shoot out of them, and a focus on more like actual tangible things. Like these are it's more of like a military unit than it is even like superheroes. And
it looks like it's shot well, and they did this thing called color correction. I thought it looked pretty good.
Right. I'm curious, though, if despite those two offerings, the Marvel movie you're most excited for might be the Fantastic Four First Steps.
It's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And maybe it will. I'm not there yet. They haven't shown me anything. But if they release an X-Men movie, of course I would be excited. Before they even show me anything, but you still got to earn it. I have so much faith in Fantastic Four. It is supposed to be the thing that's going to restart all of it. They're going back a period. But until you show me a little bit more, I have no idea what you have to offer me yet. I just need a little more. I don't think we've seen enough. And I'm surprised there's no trailer.
Right. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we get one any day now, because how are you feeling about what we've seen for Superman?
I like it.
Yeah, I mean, we just got a trailer for the upcoming James Gunn movie last week. Yep. It is not dark and poorly lit. In fact, it is very brightly lit. It's maybe a little bluish, greenishly lit. But I don't know. I think the trailer was a pretty exciting trailer. It gets at that feeling of awe that I think you kind of want from the Superman movies.
The dog came out and they put Crypto there, and I'm like, damn. Easy win right there already.
Yeah. I'm in on that.
I have faith in David Cornsweet. You know, I know we're always gonna have opinions on different Supermans and stuff, but it's like I want to see his outing for it. I'm very excited for Rachel Brosnahan for Lois Lane. I want us to have a really good Lois Lane, because we did our Amy Adams bracket and we were like, damn, they had Amy Adams do the role and we can't remember a thing. But honestly. Yeah. It's Nick
Holt. Yeah.
I think he's going to do something.
I'm very excited to see Nick Holt kind of get his moment here. But you're totally right on Brosnahan. I don't know. I had a little bit of hesitation at her casting. I'm mostly familiar with her as Mrs. Mabel. I don't know what it was. She felt like she belonged to a different style of movie. And then within 2 seconds of her showing up in the trailer, it's like, oh, you are a perfect visual fit for this part.
What arguments? Nobody. She like don't even have the hair like Lois yet, and no arguments. Yeah, she's gonna be great.
Yeah. Perhaps the blockbuster that I'm most looking forward to is from Joseph Kosinski, the guy who made Top Gun Maverick, and he knows how to work with those high-speed cameras. So he decided, you know what? Let me take them off of the jet planes and let me strap him to some F1 race cars. And he threw Brad Pitt onto the track during actual F1 events, racing near Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton, who are like gonna be in this movie.
How is
they're calling it F1?
How is Fassbender not in this, bro?
It feels like somebody got their wires crossed at some point, right? Like Fassbender is an actual race car driver.
He's an actual race car driver, bro.
Yeah.
Opening day one combo price. I saw a trailer. I'm seated. Dolby all the way.
Yeah.
Dolby all the way.
I mean, like, this is not. I'm pretty sure this is not going to be like my favorite movie of the year, but it is the one that I am perhaps the most excited to hear and see loud and on a big screen.
That trailer's a flex, bro.
Mm-hmm.
It is a really big flex. It knew exactly what it was doing. It's like when the Dolby teaser starts. Welcome to Dolby. That the trailer knows what it is. It knows what you're watching.
It's going to be the Dolby teaser probably next year.
Exactly. It's already set for that. The Best Buy display for when you buy a TV. F1's an easy shoe-in. Easy shoe-in. Yeah. And summer.
Yeah, it's going to be a big summer blockbuster for sure.
Sounds good.
How are you feeling right now about From the World of John Wick: Ballerina?
We're just talking the title. Boy, why? Ballerina, a John Wick story was taken? What's happening here? I mean, I'm in because it's her.
Yeah.
I like John Wick.
Yeah. I don't know.
Aren't you worried of the delays? That's mine.
I'm definitely worried about the delays. I mean, it seems like they're unhappy with it.
They did a whole series that tanked.
Isn't this kind of always the thing that, like, when people try to make things within the Chad Stahelski framework, they have to at some point call Chad Stahelski to come and fix it?
Every single time.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Maybe that'll help. This one's coming June 6th.
All right. Yeah. I mean, okay. Yeah.
How about if you don't want something in the Stahelski universe, something in the David Leitch universe?
Oh, baby.
87 North Productions presents Love Hurts. This is the action movie starring Ke Kwan. You may be seeing trailers for it already because it's set to come out not too long from now on February 7th. How you feeling about this one?
I think this one could be fun. I think it's going to be exciting to see him in a lead because he still hasn't gotten one after the Oscar. Like Disney got him to play some time guy, bro. But I'm excited for it. I hope it delivers, especially because we have a twofer coming out this year because Nobody 2 is also wrapped. And to be honest, Timo, being the director for that one got me a little bit more excited. But
that's a good point.
No, I think it's going to be really cool to see both of them. Love Hurts and that, to me, feel like two sides of a similar story. But the trailer's out for that one, and it looks fun.
Yeah, there's also a trailer out now for Warfare, which we talked about on a weekend must watch. You already know our thoughts. We're always going to be there for an Alex Garland movie. This one co-directed by Ray Mendoza, who consulted on the military sequences in Civil War. It's a day one for sure. Yeah, from
great cast.
And then my last thing here in the blockbusters, although we're going to get to a bunch more blockbusters in the sequels and remakes category, but Ryan Coogler with a new big original movie starring Michael B. Jordan in a story about, I think, hunting vampires. That's definitely the tone I'm getting from that trailer.
Yeah. I'm a big graphic novel reader of American Vampire, and this feels like it snatched it. You heard the jokes?
No, tell me.
They really thought that the twins were supposed to be like fraternal, and if they wanted Jonathan Majors because they were going to get 100% off his wardrobe. to supply for the whole cast. Oh, it's so funny to me. But I'm in. This is what, the second month in that we're getting in this?
Yeah, not super long in the future.
March.
Yeah, March, so third month in. But
Yo,
I don't know,
not
man.
a bad
that trailer,
top beginning of 2025.
Nah, it's pretty stacked. And that trailer has got me really hyped. Just that shot of Michael B. Jordan shooting that gun with his arms all jacked up. Mm-hmm. It's going to be pretty fun.
I'm excited for it. Sounds good. And I would have this in my top 5 for sure.
Nice. All right, so let's talk about a few sequels and remakes, starting with a legend, tackling a legend. Spike Lee is making a remake of Akira Kurosawa's High and Low, right now titled Highest to Lowest. It's a Spike Lee joint with his boy Denzel Washington and a pretty interesting cast around them as well, with A$AP Rocky, Jeffrey Wright, and Ice Spice attached to this movie. And I know a lot of people are like down on the idea of Ice Spice being in this film, but Spike Lee is very good at casting his films. Once upon a time, Rosie Perez was not a person you'd expect to be a great dramatic actress, and he's certainly launched that career.
I don't think Ice Spice could be Rosie Perez, but I feel you. It's all about where you put the performance. Yeah. So we'll see. I'm excited.
A remake from Edgar Wright, who said he would never remake a film other than this one. He's doing The Running Man, and this is a movie starring Glenn Powell, Katie O'Brien, who surprised a lot of us in Love Lies Bleeding last year, as well as Twisters, Josh Brolin, Lee Pace. I'm pretty excited about this one.
Me too, top 5.
This is top 5 for you too?
Top 5 for me, yeah.
When's the last night in Soho? Feels like
unless you did TV?
Not long ago, but feels like long ago for Edgar Wright.
It does, easily.
Yeah. All right, maybe the remake I'm most excited about is we're getting a remake of The Naked Gun, directed by the Lonely Island's Akiva Schaffer, starring Liam Neeson, Pamela Anderson, and Paul Walter Hauser. They
better not mess this up. The ingredients look good. Everything looks good on the menu.
Exactly. Like, they have everything they need to bake the cake. I hope it tastes as good as I anticipate, because, man, look, Akiva's, I think, kind of turned into a pretty underrated film director. You know, Popstar is a pretty classic cult comedy at this point. I think Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers was really funny.
It was a surprise hit. Hot Rod is hilarious. I need to go back and visit The Watch, to be honest with you. But Popstar, I think I own this movie in 3 ways. Like, I bought it digitally. I have a disc, a DVD of it. No, Popstar is... Watch Popstar, bro.
I just put on Fuck Bin Laden the other day. And then I just like went through and listened to every single song from that movie.
I think the not gay one is pivotal for most conversations that you see. You see someone react and you're like, you're literally that.
Yeah. So funny.
A question, do we have to keep an eye on Kevin Durant? Oh, sorry. Wrong Kevin Durant.
No, that's our boy. Our boy Kevin Durant.
We don't have an athlete in this Naked Run series that we need to keep an eye on?
Unfortunately. Okay. Although I think is Busta Rhymes in this one?
Yeah. Busta Rhymes is in this one, but I wouldn't call him an athlete.
Not an athlete, but certainly an unexpected celebrity.
Yeah, that one should be good. But if they do have some sports star, keep them away from any white Broncos. But I'm excited. Naked Gun. Those are funny movies, bro. I like in terms of like funny. When you start knowing quotes. Don't Call Me Shirley is like.
It's also like we don't have any of those like insanely joke dense, rapid fire comedy, Abrams and Zucker style comedies anymore. So it'd be great if this could be a return to something like that.
Dude, Cameron Diaz, Naked Gun, scary movies coming back. History repeats itself.
Speaking of which, there is a remake of Faces of Death coming out next year, and it's directed by Daniel Goldhaber, who helmed How to Blow Up a Pipeline, one of my favorite recent movies, as well as Cam, a really underrated horror film on Netflix. And he's got Barbie Ferreira and Dacre Montgomery, as well as other exciting people attached to this one. I'm pretty curious about it.
That looks pretty interesting. I have not seen the original, so I might have to go back and see that. But good for
Same
him.
For me.
Already with the jump.
Yeah. Yeah, he was on that almost immediately after Pipeline. I think he's been wanting to make this for a bit.
Good for him.
Yeah. We also talked on the podcast recently about the trailer for 28 Years Later, which is going to feature Danny Boyle and Alex Garland reuniting after many years. And that's probably good enough on its own, but the trailer looks really, really cool.
My number one most anticipated as of right now.
Oh, hell yeah. Okay. Good to know.
I think it's going to fire on all cylinders. And did you hear? It's already...
Yeah, we're getting a Nia DaCosta sequel to the sequel.
A lot of people that pushed their hype way back. Did it for you?
Not really. I think partially because it seems like it's its own separate creative project. Like
that's what I
seem
thought.
kind of.
But they have the actors listed on the IMDb, which could be wrong. That's my only thing. Is like, please don't spoil the ending of part 1 before we get part 2. But
right.
I don't know. It'll be interesting. The Bone Temple, like to have the subtitle ready, I think is what's interesting.
Right.
But Alex Garland remains a writer for both, so that's what has me intrigued. But that trailer, what a trailer! People started making videos about the trailers are back. This is how you make it. That's how good it was.
Yeah. Megan was a huge sensation, and now we're getting Megan 2.0 next year.
Sounds good.
Predators.
Yes.
Badlands.
Okay. Now we're talking.
A remake to, or a sequel to, was it Prey or Predator? What
Prey.
is that one called?
Prey.
Prey.
Dan
yes.
Trachtenberg did it for Hulu. He was promised that he was going to be able to take that into theaters. It did not work out that way. Pandemicness allowed them to be able to just put that on Hulu. It blew up. People loved it. They realized, yeah, we probably should have put it there. Hey, buddy, how about you come back and make another? This man is quickly becoming one of my favorite directors. 10 Cloverfield Lane, I was obsessed with. If you go back to the A to Z videos, it's all over my walls. Prey was a surprise. This premise is unbelievable. So many people took criticisms from Prey going, how can this advanced alien come in here, this warrior, and then these primitive human beings, they survived? He said, all right, how about I flip it? What if I made you ask the question, it takes place in the future, and now you're following the predator? When society is so advanced, how can one predator survive? What a freaking ingenious idea. It feels like he took the criticisms and he said, all right, let's go there. To have it be the POV of the, I guess, villain? Come on, dude. I'm so in. The predator perspective is iconic. This might be one of the biggest surprise hits. Like when we talk about, hey, what's the best sequel? No, what's the best third one? What's the best what? 6, 7? What are we on? I'm not going to lie. This is number 6. It's like about to crack my top 5. I am mad excited for this one.
Yeah. I'm really excited to see what twist he can put on this familiar package, because he seems to have an eye for like just giving it the right spin to make it feel really fresh.
So if Alien's continuing, and they weren't going on Hulu, he had his Alien, Predator, baby, Dan, it's yours. It's yours. Don't let them take it away from you. I'm so excited. This next one's great.
Let's go from Predator to stories about predators and prey, anthropomorphic animals in general. We got 2 of them here in The Bad Guys 2 and Zootopia 2. Of these animated family films, which one are you more hyped for?
It should be Zootopia. But you know I really like Bad Guys. And the trailer for this next one looks really good. Zootopia's cool. Mm-hmm. It's just, I love Zootopia. But it's one of those where the more you think about it, it's like, okay, I mean, you do have to make some leaps here and there for certain things. Whereas this, it's like they're always pushing back on what these predators turn good, who now have to go back and become bad, can be. I like this new gang that they're bringing in for it for Bad Guys 2. I think it's going to be really interesting, as I explained to you. I like the idea that the guy who made the books is taking adult movies and making kids' stories for them. He has a Pulp Fiction and a Western one in the future. I can't wait to get to those. But it'll be interesting to see the heist homages that they do for this one.
100%. Speaking of heists and homages, we got Mission Impossible, the final reckoning. I mean, look, my man Tom Cruise.
He dies.
He's trying his best to kill himself for our entertainment. Mm-hmm. And by gosh, I'm going to financially support it.
I think the ending of Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning begins with "Wake up, dead man," because he's clearly going to be gone, bro. But I'm also excited for this Knives Out mystery. Probably the best cast they've gotten, I think.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, top to bottom, it's really exciting. It's also like kind of cool that the initial images that are coming out, as well as the poster art, all feels a little darker and maybe not as like rompy as the first two films felt. What was the I guess the bad version of it would be like, what was the Poirot movie, The Haunting in Venice? Was that it? It almost feels like they're going to do this franchise's version of that, but I kind of trust
spooky,
Rian
right?
Johnson a little bit more
I'm excited
than Kenneth Branagh.
If he takes a swing with this one, then it shakes up what everybody thought this franchise was supposed to be, and we really get to lock in on where we can go with the Knives Out series. So, yeah. But that's a good comparison.
Exactly. Yeah, no, because like if we're getting basically another Glass Onion, then like leave it at a trilogy. I don't really need much more.
Yeah.
If you can find ways to keep making it fresh, let's do 5. Let's do 6. Yep.
Let's go.
All right. I got one more sequel remake here, but I think you might have a few more to add, but we couldn't move on without talking about Big Jim.
Yep. Avatar, Fire and Ash. Have you been to Pandora?
Like the theme park?
The park? No, the world.
I was like, in my mind, sure.
Have you been to theme park?
No, I haven't.
Should hope they can.
Should we review Avatar from Pandora?
Bro, you got to get on one of those thingies. They make it seem like those banshees are real. I believe eventually they're gonna release us into the world of Avatar. When I found out that the Lion King just went to go visit the sets from Avatar 2, and they're like, yeah, they already had the virtual world. I was like, wait, do y'all have a virtual world? And we're worried y'all leaving to Mars when in reality, y'all guys are here in another dimension. There is a virtual world that has already been created, like an online 4.0 that we are not privy to yet. And they are getting everything set over there. I believe we will be able to enter Pandora eventually. That's how much detail this man is putting into these Avatar movies. VR, whatever it's going to be, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know
the
what
final
his next
chapter. The final chapter is just going to be one big AR simulation.
It might be, bro. I don't know where we're going with movies. I mean, we've moved a lot. Who would have thought half of these that we're discussing might be coming at home? So different mediums all the time.
Look, wherever movies are going, Big Jim will probably be the first one there.
Exactly.
Do you want to talk at all about the new Jurassic World or Tron Ares or any things that I missed?
Yeah, you had mentioned Wicked, Tron. I think all of them seem pretty interesting. Tron probably the most, mainly because it's a franchise that I don't feel rushes it out.
Yeah.
Clearly. But the big thing about it is also the talent that they have involved. Why is it not popping up?
It's ARES. If you want to look for the subtitle.
What's wrong with saying Tron?
There you go.
Like, damn. Okay. Cast looks decent. I know they're bringing back to carry on a lot of the story from the first one, but the music, it's the feel, it's the whole design of it, and the fact that they've also invested going off of the parks, like I was just mentioning for the previous. They've turned a lot of Disney into this Tron theme park that they're going to do. So part of the movie is going to really be relying on that, and it's going to be a big commercial for you to go over there. So I think they're really going to want to sell the atmosphere of this world. So
yeah.
They got the decent director. Kontiki's good. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Are you more excited about that Jurassic World sequel? I don't want to spoil the things that were going across social media for people, but it feels like they're maybe going to take some big swings with this movie.
Are you telling me that the jokes I've been seeing are real? Is that what you're saying?
I have no idea, man. I I have no idea. I try to just spend as little time in spoilers world as possible.
This is my top 10.
Okay. Gareth Edwards.
Because it's Gareth Edwards.
Yeah.
We all know Jurassic Park revolutionized visuals.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're giving it to this man, who Godzilla,
the man behind the creator,
and Rogue One are all respectively considered some of the best, especially for these two franchise ones. Everyone keeps mentioning, it doesn't feel like the 2014 Godzilla anymore. They're all weightless now. And Rogue One is what people mention when talking about that prequel environment and how they're able to capture that. I think the cast is good, bro. Scarlett's good. Jonathan Bailey, Mahershala Ali. I think by accident we might have a hit on our hands, bro.
It's like an absurdly good cast for what is the like sixth, seventh Jurassic movie.
So I'm excited. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I'm like really excited. I feel the excitement like this is the first time we're seeing Jurassic World. Like when that one in 2015 was announced. I feel like we're just completely ignoring that and just starting again. Like it's literally called Rebirth.
Okay with
hey,
that.
how disrespectful to call it Rebirth. Of what? Who'd you kill? Who'd you die? Like, yeah. It's like let's just start it from scratch immediately after the other trilogy just finished.
Yeah.
But it sounds good to me.
Who's Colin Trevorrow? Never heard of him.
Never heard of him.
All right, so I think those are most of the sequels and remakes
Hey, this
that
guy
we're
got to
excited
make the
about.
Star Wars movie.
True. Okay, let's talk about some films that are on my radar because their casts are particularly excellent. And this one is called Blue Moon, the one I'm going to start out with. It's a movie about a songwriter who is sort of sorry. Okay, yeah. It's a songwriter who is celebrating the success of their former writing partner, Richard Rodgers, after they've opened Oklahoma. So to me, that makes me feel it's a little bit like Inside Llewyn Davis, that thing of like the proximity to fame and having that envy and jealousy around there.
True
it's a
story.
movie- yeah, but based on this true story of Rodgers and Hammerstein. So I think Ethan Hawke is playing Lorenz Hart, the former partner, whereas Rodgers and Hammerstein are being played by Bobby Cannavale and Andrew Scott. Not shabby. Margot Qualley somehow is also wrapped up in this whole deal. That's enough to get me in the door. Those four names. It's also directed by Richard Linklater.
Decent guy.
Not so bad.
Wow.
Linklater's actually got potentially 2 movies coming out next year. He's got like a French New Wave homage with Zoe Deutsch coming out.
Oh, cool. And of
Yeah.
course he'll be filming the Merrily movie as well. No, this is good. We're getting some powerhouse performances or coupled like ensembles, like you're saying, for this category from Sundance. We were seeing a lot of big ones. This looks good.
Definitely.
What a year.
Right? Easy's Waltz is about a down-on-his-luck comedian and crooner in modern Las Vegas. And that comedian crooner is going to be played by Vince Vaughn. I think that's just kind of a perfect marriage of like characters type and actor. You also have Michelle Monaghan, Al Pacino, Simon Rex. Maybe Al Pacino is going to play the old school. I feel like it's a Vince Vaughn movie, though. Made the more intriguing because this one is written and directed by True Detective's Nick Pizzolatto, who most recently wrote a bunch of angry tweets about True Detective Season 4.
Yes, he did.
I'm curious.
I'm very curious. They also got
He worked...
Colby
Sorry, I was
Smulders,
going to say...
Simon Rex.
Right.
Bro,
Yeah, my
Shane
boy.
Gillis.
Fred Melamed, who I love.
Yeah, he's funny. That was going to be good.
Yeah. And he's worked with Vince Vaughn before for season 2 of True Detective.
Okay. I like it.
Yeah. Let's talk about The Ballad of a Small Player, which is a story about a gambler, I believe played by Colin Farrell, and Tilda Swinton is in this movie. Honestly, those 2 names, that's enough for me. Those are 2 of my favorites in the game. It's also a film that's coming to us from your boy, Edward Berger, of All Quiet on the Western Front and Conclave, a.k.a. House of Cardinals.
That's my guy right here. If he can get a fraction of what he got from Conclave with 2 actors that I consider better than everyone in Conclave, then we're in good hands. What's the premise? Do you know?
What is the premise of this one? He's like a gambler who gets in over his head and some stuff. I believe.
Psychological drama thriller. Yeah, man.
Yeah, his
That's
debts
great.
catch up with him. Could
Always
be
there for
pretty
Colin
exciting. Yeah, exactly. I don't know if you've been seeing. I don't know if you've been seeing all the dialogue about like Honora and sex scenes and complicity and
I saw the director.
intimacy
I've already pictured
coordinators.
Latex before I go to the theater on this one, bro.
Exactly. I'm really excited for Greg Araki to just come in and drop a movie and blow Gen Z's mind. he's putting out a film called I Want Your Sex.
Bruh.
And it is a movie that has a pretty exciting cast in it with Olivia Wilde, Cooper Hoffman, Charlie XCX, Daveed Diggs, Mason Gooding, Chase Sweet Wonders, Johnny Knoxville. Really random. Really cool.
You said it's a documentary?
Maybe, because this is a movie about Olivia Wilde's character and Cooper Hoffman's character beginning an affair of sorts, I believe.
Cooper, what's going on?
Cooper just
Coops?
stays winning.
All right, Coops. Coops
He's
with
got
the
so much
scoop.
riz.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yo, yeah, the last time I got to see the Doom Generation at the Music Box. Probably the most out-of-pocket audience I've seen it with. People snuck in. They were sitting on the floor. Bro, I have not been to a theater where they vape just out loud, no problem in the back since Ryan hit it at a greener grass. I thought he was going to hide it. The fans of Greg Araki are literally at his frequency. They know exactly what he's delivering.
Yeah, yeah.
He feels like the guy, when they say, oh, you can't make this today, he never heard that phrase. I think he still approaches his movies the exact same way.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, let's go. Let's go.
Definitely.
Got the Brett Green and everything.
Yeah. The next film I got here is Anne Lee. This is apparently an epic fable about the religious leader who was a founding member of the Shaker movement. You have Amanda Seyfried, Thomasin McKenzie, Christopher Abbott, Tim Blake Nelson, a few other people that I like in this cast here. Intriguing enough on its own. The director, Mona Fastvold, a.k.a. Mrs. Brady Corbett, co-writer of The Brutalist. I think kind of got to pay attention to her, not just because of her work with her husband, her work on her own, too. She directed the pretty underrated film The World to Come from 2020.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, look, people who work with their partners, I mean, I don't know. It's just something about it. You know, they get the job done. What can you say?
Yeah.
We've had a lot of power couple
We can't relate
producers.
to that at all.
None. But you also do really have, the Nolans, both of them, Emma and Chris, working together. His brother Jonathan also works a lot with his partner, Denny, and his wife. That's his go-to producer. It's always some of the best things to see right there. And I think these two are a powerhouse through and through. This looks fire, bro. Great cast.
Sacrifice is the new film from Romain Gavras, who more recently gave us Athena, one of the more visually striking films that is on Netflix at all. Like just
right now.
It's incredibly. It looks incredible, that film, and riveting action thriller.
Bless his soul. Thank you, sir, for rescuing him. Thank you. Do well with the man, please.
Was he committed to something, or
Chris Evans has been in crappy roles for the last bro.
Yes. He's come, dude. 2025 in general, Chris Evans may see a turnaround. First, we got him here, and we'll talk about him in a bit, because this is a pretty intriguing film. It's not just him; it's Anya Taylor-Joy, it's Vincent Cassel, it's Selma Hayek-Pinot, it's my boy Sam Richardson's in this movie.
Oh, he made the cut.
He made the cut. John Malkovich and Charlie XCX, Young Lean, Jeremy O'Harris.
XCX again. All right, Jeremy O'Harris is usually for me a good sign that we're gonna be working with some good stuff. John Malkovich.
The premise here is about a falling movie star who gets kidnapped from a charity gala.
We got to do two things here. This is a really crazy premise. What the hell? Okay, for starters, great cast. I don't know if I want to see John Malkovich and Young Lean in the scene. I already got too much of seeing Fred Hedger with Denzel. That's going to be crazy. Young Lean going in there. But what run has this man been on to end up in a movie like this? Because I'm not going to count Endgame or Knives Out, but starting from Free Guy, which I give more of a benefit of the doubt for.
I don't.
It has been bad for Don't Look Up, Lightyear, Gray Man.
The Gray Man. Ghosted.
Pain Hustlers. Such an easy freaking shoo-in of a movie because of its premise. Failed. Scott Pilgrim, I'm not counting, bro. So, Deadpool Wolverine, honestly, because of his cameo, I guess, but I'm not a fan of Red One. And Red One thinks that they have shooters. I don't see how you could defend a movie where the Rock is shrinking down to Kevin Hart's size. Makes no sense to me. But you said other than that, he's got what coming up?
Oh, well, we'll get to his
we'll
Celine
get to it,
Song
okay.
movie very shortly.
This is good. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't have Young
Yeah.
Lean on my list as an up and coming star, but 2 Charlie XCX is also kind of crazy. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, all over the place.
3. Dude, she's
Oh,
also in
right.
Faces of Death.
Oh, yeah, I missed that.
I don't know if you had
Damn.
mentioned her there. Wow.
I did not. It's going to be a big transition into acting for her next year, but she's
and who knows what else
she's
she's
kind of
a
it
cameo.
right now.
She could be a cameo and stuff that we don't know about.
Right, right.
All right.
Let's talk a little bit about The Roses. This is a film about like a perfect family whose life comes crashing down, and that central couple, I believe, is played by Benedict Cumberbatch and Olivia Colman, a couple great actors. Also really intrigued by some of the talent they have around Coleman and Cumberbatch, because you have very funny people in Kate McKinnon, Andy Samberg, Nkita Gatwa, Sunita Mani, one of my favorites, Zoe Chow as well. I think this could be quite delightful, considering it's coming from director Jay Roach, who directed all of the Austin Powers movies, Meet the Parents, Meet the Fockers, more recently made Trumbo, and the not as good Bombshell, but pretty solid
but
director.
Still went for something. Tell me, you heard he's still meeting the parents?
Yeah, they're doing
got
a
another one?
fourth.
Yeah, I don't see it on here yet, but they're like, how many times you got to meet him?
Right?
Yeah, just looking at this one over here, another real surprise hit. I like this guy a lot. When he appears in things, he steals it from me. He's got his own show, Flats something, hilarious. But when he appeared in Barbie as like the guy in the background with Will Ferrell in the meeting, hysterical stuff. So if you're tapping into this guy, there's a chance that you're going to be on a good frequency.
Dimitru.
Yeah, he's a real funny guy.
Yeah,
All right, sounds
very
good.
funny. Let's talk a little bit about Huntington. This is about a man who is the heir to a multi-billion-dollar fortune who will stop to nothing to get what he thinks he deserves. With Glenn Powell, Margaret Qualley, Ed Harris, Zach Woods, Topher Grace, and Bill Camp in the cast. I'm also intrigued. My guy Zach Woods, yeah.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Delightful.
And Jessica Henwick, decent.
Right. It's also intriguing because this is the second film from John Patton Ford, who you may remember as the director of Emily the Criminal with Aubrey Plaza.
Ooh, now we're talking. Hey, all right, Margaret, Glenn, I like it. Okay. Good.
Choosing wisely.
No, bro, this man, honestly, hey, what did I tell you? What'd I tell you? My man's
Powell,
picking the
major
best
movie
of the
star.
best.
Yeah, our guy.
Yo, but I'm glad he's going with, like, interesting picks.
Yeah.
You know?
He's not just trying to be in all the biggest movies. He's choosing interesting directors and good premises.
I like it.
Yeah.
And he's calling out Monsanto. Let's go.
All right, tell me if you're intrigued by One of Them Days. This one is set for a theatrical release on January 17th. I think it's produced by Issa Rae. And I think the cast is quite interesting, with Keke Palmer and SZA co-starring in what's supposed to be their own version of Friday. You also have Maude Apatow, Lil Rel Howery, Janelle James, and Kat Williams rounding out some of the cast. I think it could be funny.
I haven't seen the trailer yet, so
Me
I'll have
either.
to check it out. Yeah, because I know that's up there over there. But if I had to pull up some of the stuff over here, I don't know if, because you had just mentioned trying to make it like a Friday, you saw they're working on another Friday.
Yeah.
So there's a chance we're going to get another one of those there as well. They got that sequel. I don't know if you got Freaky Friday. Freaky Friday's also next year as well. But as for this one, I'm intrigued. I thought this was coming to Prime, but if it's going to theaters, then I'm rooting for SZA. I don't know how funny
I wouldn't
she
be
is,
surprised if this is one that shows up on streaming after a couple of
but I
weeks.
see what you mean, yeah. Cat Williams, it's got a very similar like vibe to what would be a Friday. What if they end up making it like a secret
Friday prequel, requel
spin-off,
kind of thing?
side? You never know.
Yeah, that could be fun.
Let's see. I don't know the director from too much, so it's also a debut. So, I'm in.
Yeah, and I believe the writer is making their debut too. I could be just taking a total shot in the dark. The writer's last name is Singleton. Maybe there's some relation to John Singleton there, or maybe it's just a similar last name.
Like you had mentioned a little bit of Insecure.
Named Shevich.
So, I mean, they've been in the industry for a bit. That'll be interesting to look up.
Yeah.
All right, sounds good.
My next movie here is called Wizards, about two unlucky beach bar operators when they suddenly find stolen loot that they should have left alone. A really random cast in this one. Pete Davidson, Naomi Scott, hot off Smile 2, Franz Rogowski, our boy from Passages, and Maurice Bird.
This is the dumbest cast you pulled up yet. None of this makes any sense. This is crazy.
But that's part of what makes me so intrigued. How are all these people gonna?
What?
Can you just picture Pete Davidson and Sean Harris having a conversation? Because I can't.
I don't want Pete Davidson anywhere near my boy Franz. And Naomi Scott, bro.
I also find the choice of director here to be really far out because it's David Michaud who made The King with
what
Timothée
the hell, bro?
Chalamet. And
yeah, it's another twist in this. What is going on?
Co-written by Joel Edgerton.
What? And it's okay.
I have no idea what this movie's gonna be, but look,
and then you see it's A24, and you're like, yeah, of course it's a blender. Okay,
right,
sure,
right.
sure. If Franz is there, I'm there. So, okay.
Yeah. The next film I got here is Deliver Me from Nowhere. Not positive
of course.
This Bruce Springsteen biopic is going to come out next year from director Scott Cooper, who's made some pretty good movies like Hostiles and Crazy Heart. Amazing cast in this one. Jeremy Allen White set to play Bruce Springsteen. Don't know how far your mileage goes with the idea of him as Bruce Springsteen, but the cast around him is definitely going to help. You got Jeremy Strong.
He's
Paul Walter
he was in that one thing. Yeah.
The Apprentice. Succession.
Ooh, keep going.
Paul Walter Hauser, Odessa Young, Stephen Graham, Mark Maron, Gabby Hoffman, and most importantly, my boy, David Krumholtz from Oppenheimer.
Yeah. It might be good.
I'm hoping it's good. I'm a little hopeful off music biopics. I like to complete unknown. Maybe they can make this one good too.
Okay, let's hope.
All right, speaking of Chris Evans, before we even get to the Celine Song movie, we got one more here called Honey Don't. This is another film from Ethan Coen, just by
with
himself.
With the H?
So in the mold
with
of...
the H though, right?
Yes, with the
and
with
not that
the
other.
H. This is
Eden.
Not Ethan Coen. This is half of the Coen brothers. The half
the real
that
one.
made
Okay.
The half that made Drive Away Dolls earlier this year. So you're going for probably another Mad Cat comedy here.
I'm down.
He's even co-written this one with Trisha Cook, his wife, who co-wrote Drive Away Dolls as well. Amazing cast on this one, though.
I like it.
Margaret Qualley, Aubrey Plaza, the aforementioned Chris Evans, my guy Charlie Day from It's Always Sunny, Billy Eichner, Talia Ryder.
Could have gone your boy.
It keeps going.
Yeah, Kristen Connolly, Charlie Day. That is good. I like it. I had fun with Drive Away Dolls, so I'm down with this.
Same.
Like to see them reuniting with Margaret. Curious to see what Aubrey brings to it. And good, Chris. See?
This is more like this, Chris. Please, more
like
like
this.
Yeah.
All
right. Let's talk about this next one because when we talk about stacked casts, I mean, this is a top-heavy cast. The new Lynn Ramsey film, Die My Love. Lynn Ramsey, of course, made films like We Need to Talk About Kevin or You Were Never Really Here. A really phenomenal filmmaker who can make a heavy, heartfelt movie. This movie it follows a woman living in a remote rural area who's driven to the brink of insanity by marriage and motherhood. That woman is played by none other than Jennifer Lawrence. Really excited to see her in this kind of a part. And the people around her are equally intriguing. You got Robert Pattinson, Lakeith Stanfield, Sissy Spacek, and Nick Nolte.
Wow. Yeah. No, it's that. It's been a minute, bro. We needed her back.
Absolutely. And in this kind of a role too, I can't remember the last really like dramatically compelling part we got from Jennifer Lawrence, but she can be so good in that mode. There's also that one image out there, I don't know if you've seen it, of like her and Robert Pattinson dancing that just
no.
There's that one.
This.
Yeah. Something about it. I'm sold off of it. It's all I really need.
One of those where you remember like, yo, I remember the first shot they revealed of this. And it was ooh.
Come on.
That one's even better. Okay. Yeah, I'm done. She got to remind people, too. She has to remind people. Some people have forgotten.
Right.
That she's J-Lo.
She is that girl for a reason.
Don't get it twisted, bro.
Yeah. The only cast that I have right now that's maybe competing with it for like most intriguing cast of next year is whoever Luca Guadagnino's assembled for After the Hunt, because this film has got Julia Roberts, Io Adebri, Andrew Garfield, Michael Stuhlbarg, and Chloe Sevigny.
Who you got out of the 5? Stolberg.
Stuhlbarg is like the sneaky weapon. He's done it before and called me by
He'll
your
mop 'em.
name. Yeah. You know I love a serious man.
But then we'll find out that he did it for Chloe. So you never know.
Right? I think
That's
Lucas
stacked,
talked
bro.
about this being a less sensual film than most of his films are. Like, it's not
That's fine.
Really a film about sex and temptation like that. It's about a college professor who finds herself at a personal and professional crossroads after one of her pupils levels an accusation at one of her colleagues. It sounds really intriguing.
Wow. Good. A little flip. I think people were getting too much on Luca being like the slay master guy. It's like, no, Luca gonna hit you with the drama too. Don't get it twisted. All right, sounds good.
All right, let's wrap these up with films from filmmakers that we love. So these are a lot of the films that I'm most excited for next year, starting with Paper Tiger. This is the new film from James Gray, who's made Lost City of Z and Ad Astra, as well as Armageddon Time. He is reuniting with Armageddon Time co-stars Jeremy Strong and Anne Hathaway, as well as Adam Driver, in the story about two brothers pursuing the American dream who get entangled in a scheme that's too good to be true. I think there's just something about James Gray movies that are like, they feel like they really capture a moment or a place or a time. And just with that combination of actors, I'm really hopeful for this one.
All right. I like it.
Yeah. There's The Materialists, which is going to be director Celine Song's follow-up to Past Lives. I know a lot of people are excited for that, particularly because you have Dakota Johnson, Chris Evans again, Pedro Pascal in this cast.
This looks good. Does this have a date?
Yeah. I don't think it does yet, but it's supposed to come this year.
Yeah, I think we're gonna be on a run with Celine Song. Mm-hmm. Like that's what it's interesting to be like. We're barely here, and we're gonna have a box set of 5.
This also continues the tradition of her and her husband Justin Kuritzkis making films about love triangles, because it's about a high-end matchmaker who is caught between feelings for 2 other men.
Wow, it was good.
I don't have a lot to say about this next one, No Other Choice, but it's directed by Park Chan-wook, which is reason to go alone.
All you need.
But the premise is about a man who's been unemployed for several years, devising a unique plan to secure a new job, eliminating his competition. This is coming from the man who made Old Boy, so I'm ready for some gnarly movie.
Look at that poster, bro.
Yeah.
Every week, someone shares a still from Decision to Leave, and someone goes, I was wrong for keeping it out of my top 10.
Yeah, I feel that
Someone
too.
shares a GIF, and you go, damn, I left it out of the best of the decade. Yeah. We are living with a filmmaker who we are not appreciating. We can give him everything in the world. We are still not appreciating what this man is making out there, bro.
Yeah. We
That's
just
a
left
fact.
The Sympathizer out of our top
Just
10
left it.
TV shows of
We
the
are
year.
guilty of it. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm convicting ourselves, but this looks crazy. That poster looks phenomenal.
It's so cool. Let's talk about a director who I know you can be a little bit hit or miss on, Kelly Reichardt, because I think she might get you with this next film called The Mastermind. This is about a guy who orchestrates an audacious art heist during the Vietnam War. That is not a good enough logline. I don't know what to tell you. Starring Josh O'Connor.
What's up?
As well as Alana Haim, John Magaro, Hope Davis, Bill Camp, and Gabby Hoffman.
Got my Movie Go subscription ready and set. Ticket purchase. Let's go.
Definitely. Sentimental Value is another one I'm pretty intrigued by. This is director Joachim Trier's follow-up to The Worst Person in the World, and he's brought along Renat Reinsve and Anders Danielsen Lai, reuniting them once again for this comedic drama. He's also got Stellan Skarsgård, Elle Fanning, and our boy Corey Michael Smith from May December, and playing Chevy Chase in Saturday Night for this movie.
Yeah, nice. Killer casting.
Very killer casting. The new movie from Julia Ducournau is called Alpha. I was a little mixed on Titan, but of course Raw is amazing.
Oh yeah.
I like even though I wasn't like the hugest fan of Titan, like it is such a striking movie that I'm still really interested in whatever she makes next. This is a movie about a teenager who gets rejected by her classmates because of a rumor that she's been infected with a new disease.
Really? Good cast. Tahar Rahim, always shouting out the Prophet on a weekly basis. And then Golshifta was pretty good in the Extraction movies. I think she's still alive. And I've yet to see About Ellie. That's one of my last ones to see from, what's his name? Farhadi. So
Yeah.
I think good cast right there, too. Nice.
For sure.
All right. We got to catch that at a festival.
Yeah. This next one is from a director that you're a huge fan of. Christopher Borgli is coming back with a movie called The Drama. It's starring Zendaya and Robert Pattinson, as well as Alana Haim and Mamadou Athey, too. Really excited for them.
Mamadou, he just appeared in Laid on Peacock and killed his one scene. Almost literally. Okay. No, this guy's wacky, bro. He's insane, the director. And you combine it with... I want to see an American version of what I said I liked last year, Sick of Myself. I want him to be able to push American actors to just be what American people are, but are too scared to show you on screen.
And the premise is about a couple that in the days before their wedding get unexpected revelations about one another. So you know he's going to be able to push some buttons with a premise like that.
Wow. Yeah. Now that's a boiling pot right there. Okay.
Can I interest you in a new Derek Cianfrance movie?
You should end it with this right here. Tell me.
Roof Man, which stars Channing Tatum as an inmate on the run who hides out in a toy store. You also got Kristen Dunst and Peter Dinklage, as well as Juno Temple, Uzo Aduba, Ben Mendelsohn, and Lakeith Stanfield. Lily Collins, Emery Cohen. Emery Cohen of Place Beyond the Pines, right?
Of course. Yeah. Underrated. I love Emery Cohen. When it's not going to, what's his name? Who said takes Emery Cohen's roles?
Paul Walter Hauser.
Paul Walter Hauser.
Yeah.
This is a great cast. Lakeith, bro. We gotta give a little stop right here. Lakeith has been mentioned a ridiculous amount of times. Yeah. So let me just do right here before I go gush over there. Roofman. Are all of these? What are you missing? What's the one that's missing?
I don't think I have notes from a young black chef.
Pre-pro.
Everything else there. Maybe
Pre-production.
Not,
Wow.
Lear Rex either.
Let's check out Lear Rex. It's on post.
Yeah.
Bernard Rose with Rachel Brosnahan,
Ariana DeBose, and Al Pacino.
El Pacino. Nice up and comer. Who is this? Who is Bernard Rose, bro? She has South by right there. Her picture's at South by. Let's see. Nothing. We ain't missing. Bro.
Wait, what? From the director of the original Candyman?
Hey, yo,
okay, this should be on the list.
A last minute little audible right there. Whoa.
Jeez.
Well, we don't know. Because, again, we have technically, I can see the chat over here. LaShawn talking about, I'm overwhelmed. There is a lot. Trevor says, how's one going to catch all this? I'm pretty sure we just went through the entire release date of everything. So chances are some of these may not be on here. I think there's a reason Zach goes through the movies he covered last year again this year. Because there's probably a bunch that won't be here. But Lakeith with a massive year. Good for him.
Yeah.
And now let me gush about this.
A reminder, we're going to put this all in a letterbox list in the description for the episode. So if you need to catch up with any of these, feel free.
But let's go back to gushing. You better not be telling me there's a Derek Cianfrance movie and then it doesn't come out this year. Because you already did that to me with Bong Joon-ho last year.
I mean, all indications that I saw seem to be that it's moving forward. A lot of these movies don't have a year listed on Letterboxd. This one actually says 2025.
I'm in it. How do I not know? Looks good.
Guy.
I'm in.
Does this one actually have a release date? It says October 3rd. I don't know if that's confirmed, but
I don't trust that, bro. And who's putting an October 3rd date in the previous year? It's not gonna happen.
Right.
But let's hope. TIFF?
Yeah.
TIFF?
Maybe. You got to come to Toronto then.
Let's go.
There's a new Shane Black movie in the works.
Okay.
It's called Play Dirty. I think Shane Black is one of our most...
Look at that.
He's everywhere.
What is happening?
Yeah.
Look, he joins in right here, third bubble. All right, play dirty.
Yeah. Shane Black, one of our iconic action filmmakers from The Nice Guys and Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, as well as so many films that he wrote from Die Hard on down.
He was in the original Predator as an actor, I think, and then came back, if I'm not mistaken.
Right. Yeah. Very exciting very exciting director. Glad that we're getting a new film from him. Mark Wahlberg is the star. Hit or miss, but sometimes he's good.
No, sometimes he's good. That's why he's still around. We remember. We can all name some good Mark Wahlberg performances, but everyone else looks really great with this. Key getting some love in there. I think he was in Predators. That's why. Tony Shalhoub, Thomas Jane, Nat Wolff.
Hell yeah.
Decent.
We already mentioned one Soderbergh movie coming out in January. He's got another coming out in March. Yeah, this one's called Black Bag, and it's just him doing like a straight up spy thriller the way that I'm sure he'll execute perfectly. Cate Blanchett, Michael Fassbender, Regé-Jean Page from Bridgerton and Dungeons and Dragons, my girl Marissa Abella from Industry, Naomi Harris.
Trailer already out?
Pierce Brosnan?
David Cope? Writer?
Yeah.
Let's go. Okay. Wow. They still make movies like this?
Nobody told Spielberg that they stopped.
What?
Or, excuse me, Soderbergh, my bad.
Yeah, this man just went back to his early 2000s bag. Okay.
Yeah.
No, this man's written so many good stuff. I'm down. Sounds good. Already March 14th. We'll be at South by, I think, but yeah, I'm there.
I wasn't a huge fan of Darren Aronofsky's last film, The Whale, but I don't know, man. I can't quit him quite yet, and his next film sounds pretty exciting. It's a movie about a burned-out former baseball player who gets caught up in the criminal underworld of 1990s New York City, and that baseball player is played by Austin Butler. You also got Zoe Kravitz, Regina King, Matt Smith, Liev Schreiber, Bad Bunny in the cast. Why not?
I'll throw him in there. Hey, DeFaro with 2.
Shout out.
Good.
Yeah, the movie's called Caught Stealing. Pretty intriguing for that one.
Bad Bunny. You mentioned Regina King, I think. Matt Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good. So
Vincent
does that mean he's going to be walking around with a bat now?
He's just going to be constantly chewing Big League Chew.
Swinging, spitting. Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Kogonada is returning to the big screen in 2025 with a bold, beautiful journey, an imaginative tale of two strangers and the extraordinary emotional journey that connects them, with Colin Farrell, the star of After Yang, alongside Margot Robbie.
That's so good.
As Jodie Turner-Smith and Phoebe Waller-Bridge and Billy Magnuson and Sarah Gadon and
Hamish Linklater, bro. We just talked about Manhunt.
Yeah, we just talked about Chloe East. She's in this one, too.
That's good. Oh, Sarah Gadon. That's my girl, too. Brandon. Mm-hmm. He's also been appearing in so much stuff from Nope. Do I think he plays the same guy every single one? Sure. Oh, Twisters. Again, same guy? Sure. But he's welcome. He's so energetic. Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh, right. Chloe East is the heretic. Oh,
yeah. Can I interest you in a pair of movies from the Safdie brothers?
Nah, I'm good. I've had enough. I think we're like reaching 99 already at this point, bro.
Well, they're coming anyway, and unfortunately, they've split up, but that just means we're maybe getting double the Safdies. First, there's The Smashing Machine, which is from Benny, which is going to be the MMA fighter movie with Dwayne Johnson. He's brought along his frequent co-star Emily Blunt as well.
And I like them together.
It's going to be really interesting because, like, I don't think The Rock has been very good in movies for a little bit, but the whole idea here is like he's supposed to start trying again, and this is like a big prestige-y kind of movie to prove your acting chops. Well, he's a man who's not afraid of a challenge, and he has acted really well in movies in the past.
We know he can be good.
Yeah.
What if they were trying to tell us something in Red One, and they're both in there as naughty 4 listers or 4-level naughty listers because they're about to go on a redemption arc. You just showcased to me Chris Evans is finally fixing his life. Mm-hmm. Maybe he's getting it together.
And
at the end of the rainbow is that live action Moana muscle suit. Let's do it. I think it looks good. I know people were a little iffy with it. I think the image looks good. I really like him and Emily Blunt. Mm-hmm. I'm so excited for their press tour. They kill it in a press tour, bro.
No, look, I mean, is this not like a completely dissimilar situation from Uncut Gems, where they take an actor that maybe many people underrate their acting abilities in Adam Sandler and prove just how dynamic they are? Like, The Rock is a very capable actor.
Yes, he is.
And I think somebody as smart as Benny Safdie will know how to utilize that.
It's always that.
Yeah. That said, I'm a bit more intrigued for Josh Safdie's movie, Marty Supreme, which is a fictional story about ping pong in the 1950s with Timmy Chalamet, Gwyneth Paltrow, and Tyler, the Creator.
Really?
Yeah. As well as Fran Drescher and Odessa A'zion.
Really interesting world already. Mm-hmm. Is this not just a Tyler video at this point? Damn.
I saw there's some behind the scenes photos of him kissing Gwyneth Paltrow too. So that's a fun type of character for Timmy to play.
Yeah. Odessa's fun.
Cougars.
I like her out of the Adlin sisters, and Tyler's gonna be fun to watch. But Fran back on the big screen. Let's do it. Mm-hmm. Let's do it.
I just referenced my boy Adam Sandler. He is going to get to flex his dramatic chops in the new Noah Baumbach film, Jay Kelly, which is described as a funny and emotional coming-of-age story about adults, a.k.a. a Noah Baumbach film. Not just Adam Sandler, but George Clooney is leading this cast alongside Laura Dern, Jim Broadbent, Riley Keough.
Ooh,
look, I'm
Isla
there.
Fisher, Eve Hewson. She's been in a bunch.
We are two of the foremost defenders of While We're Young out there.
Yeah, we are. Yeah,
I'm on Noah Baumbach's corner.
Billy Crudup. No, this was good. Nice.
Intriguingly, this is also co-written by the actress Emily Mortimer. Don't know what that's about, but
Emily. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why?
I don't know.
So
I like her as an actress.
Pursuit of Love, so she is jumping in there, and she's a good actress.
Yeah.
Is she in Bad Sisters right now?
She's in My Brilliant Friend, I think.
Ah, okay. Interesting.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about my top three. I think these are maybe the movies I'm most excited about. And we're starting off with a new Wes Anderson film called The Phoenician Scheme. This is a dark tale of espionage about a strained father-daughter relationship within a family business. And it's, as all Wes Anderson films do, it's got a really stacked cast with Bill Murray, Benedict Cumberbatch, Scarlett Johansson, Tom Hanks, Michael Cera, Riz Ahmed, Rupert Friend, Benicio del Toro, Jeff Goldblum, Charlotte Gainsbourg. It just is going to go on and on.
Did they get any good actors?
No, I think they were all out. Cinematographer Bruno Del Bonell, co-writer Roman Coppola as well, many of his usual collaborators.
Student film.
I'm always going to be first in line for a Wes Anderson movie.
You have to. Writing it with Roman Coppola. Yeah, was good.
It's also intriguing because while he is using some actors he's worked with before, it's not necessarily like a lot of like the usual cohort. You know, there's no, I guess Bill Murray, but there's no.
But he's switching it out a bit now.
Schwartz.
Some people may be taking different stances, and also Scarlett like is in her prime, becoming the main character. So like she hasn't been the Jason Schwartzman or the Bill Murray yet. This would be it if she's more of a lead there. But you believe that date?
What date does it have on there?
Right there on the screen at the bottom, it says February 13th. If I'm looking at that, I don't know about that.
We haven't seen a trailer. We haven't seen a still. I feel like that's not going to happen.
But we'll see.
Yeah.
2027.
One movie that I am hoping we do get next year is the new Ari Aster film, Eddington. This has been described as more of a Western than a horror, and maybe it's a bit of a comedy. Ari Aster is a dude who seems to exist a little bit between genres, but he's
contemporary Western.
Always a filmmaker worth paying attention to, and this is a cast that is hard to ignore with Joaquin Phoenix, Emma Stone, Austin Butler, Pedro Pascal. Joaquin Phoenix did not quit on this movie. I'm really excited to see what happens.
Nice. Ooh, Clifton Collins Jr., he's solid. Bro, what's his name just said he wanted to do a Western as well. Right? Just penned a script for the night one.
Eggers, yeah.
And Eggers said he wants to do a Western. My man's already beating him to it over here with Eddington, dude.
Mm-hmm.
We're about to get a Western run. Don't get it twisted. I'm ready for that.
Me too.
I hope Eddington comes out. That sounds cool.
Right? But the movie that I'm most excited for of any of the films on the calendar for 2025...
Passion of the Christ Resurrection.
No, we already talked about the Terrence Malick movie. This is The Battle of Bacton Cross, although I don't know if it's going to keep that title. A lot of people think this
Probably
might
not,
be an
right?
adaptation
Yeah.
of Vineland, the Thomas Pynchon novel, whatever it is. It's a new Paul Thomas Anderson movie. And not just that, I believe this is the most expensive film he's ever made. He got a nice
Really?
budget because he's working alongside Leonardo DiCaprio for the first time.
Decent.
Yeah.
I'll take
And
it. He's worked with his father before him, which I will always
Right?
find funny.
You also have Regina Hall, Sean Penn, Benicio del Toro, Tiana Taylor, Alana Haim again, Wood Harris. I'm just look. I love every Paul Thomas Anderson movie, but I think this is gonna be like him doing something in the mode of Inherent Vice, which is also based off a Thomas Pynchon novel, but like bigger and wilder and maybe more like action movie centric. I'm hoping this is a movie that can really hit.
Sounds good. Yeah, IMDb still has it as untitled. I like how they're calling it an event film. That's cute.
Exactly.
Let's
Yeah.
do it.
I mean, it's the
Nah.
closest that Paul will probably ever get to one of those.
This feels like it might be one of the most mainstream ones. Like we know him as like classic cinema and stuff like that, but for
Yeah.
Paul Thomas Anderson to make like a banger that like everybody goes to watch, that would be really cool. And I feel like partnering with Leo could really do that.
For sure. But that are the 100-ish movies that I'm anticipating the most next year. I know you threw a few more in there. I don't know if there's any that we didn't cover that you wanted to mention.
Some random stragglers to see if they come out. They're saying there's a Sister Act 3 in the works. I don't know what they're
Right.
going to be doing with that, but like, hey, it'd be funny to see Whoopi come back. She won something for that one too, no? One of those? She was nominated?
That's a good question. Yeah, I mean, it was a big part for her. Let me check.
Yeah, there's also another sequel coming out, or maybe even a remake, Dirty Dancing 2, having been plugged in. And so far, being a 2025 release, that's supposed to be a direct sequel. I don't know. We'll see what's happening there. We had kind of mentioned it earlier. Freakier Friday, I definitely see being a massive hit, a return for Lindsay on the big screen. I think this would be really good. What's her name's really, like, what's her name's just blown up. Oscar winner.
Jamie Lee
I mean,
Curtis.
oh my gosh, bro.
Yeah.
I'm not playing. There really is a Passion of the Christ Resurrection. They talked about this when the first broke records back in 2004. I remember it being like, what if they did him resurrected in the 2000s? And I was like, what are you talking about? They say it's in the works. How are they going to finish it by Easter, Zach? I don't know. Greenland Migration is also
Right.
another one that's coming up. I thought Greenland was a pretty good movie, and I think people just love disaster movies. So I'd be curious to see what they do with this. They're also bringing back Bridget Jones. He's been talking
Right.
about it on the Heretic the tour. He's full villain mode. We don't get this QT. What's it called? What's his name
Romantic
anymore?
comedy lead, Hugh Grant.
For Hugh, but
Yeah.
Bridget Jones have always been funny. Perfect awkward type of movie. Bring it back.
I'm surprised
Catch
this
up
new
with them.
one's going straight to streaming because these movies made a lot of money in theaters.
Really
Yeah.
terrible. And my last one hopefully doesn't go straight to streaming because I saw a commercial for it. We know that
Yeah.
there's some cartoons that have been on limbo, and we want those to be freed as well. But I really like the trailer for The Day the Earth Blew Up, a Looney Tunes movie, story, whatever they call it. I also think that one's going to be pretty funny. So, hey, overall, from the ones that you've mentioned, from things that we don't even know yet, Sundance flicks, South by flicks that we'll be getting to y'all, 2025. Even if it was half of these movies, it's going to be a killer year.
Yeah. I think it's going to be a really stacked year at the movies. I'm quite excited to see all these movies and then some. Hopefully, we get the majority of them in 2025.
Yeah.
If not, I'm sure we'll
Zach
get
just
a bunch of great
covered
ones
the
too.
list for 26 and 27.
I got your watch list set for the next decade. Just
Let's
follow
go.
here. But I think about does it for this edition of the Intercut podcast. You can catch more from Intercut at Intercut Pod across social media. I'm at Zshevich or at Multiplex Show, wherever you find videos. Art is at LME Movies. Let me explain on YouTube. And yeah, just keep it locked. Watch us on YouTube. Listen to us on whatever podcatcher you use. Intercut Pod across social media, even Patreon and YouTube. You can support us. Little $3 a month. Really appreciate you. Appreciate those of you that do, and also appreciate those of you that leave us a 5-star review.
Ooh.
And until next time, we're got 100+ movies to watch.